Hey, let's fire it up.
Are you alive? Nigga, I ain't never been a yes man. Are you gonna die? You can get murdered on webcam. I don't get tired. Sweat through a headband. You might look alive. That's cause you don't really know you a dead man. This is God's plan. Someone stop me. I've been sent here from Illuminati. Evil scriptures written on my body. Me and Satan pull up in a red Ferrari. Don't be trying to put your fucking arm around me. 44 shots traumatizing from the 45. Hit 44 more carbon copies than you kamikazes. That's for everybody. Mama, poppy, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, auntie. This is not Versace. This is hot hibachi. This is Hiroshima. This is Nagasaki. I'm a hot Gandhi. A fucking humanoid Anunnaki. With plenty hammers when I'm riding shoddy. Better use your manners when you talk about me. Ain't too hard to find me. I've been killing niggas, selling nothing left though. Jonah Lucas sicker than a strep though. Spend a bitch and wanna give me pesos. Then myself I got I was next though. Spit out your crib right after I clean out your shit and then put all of your fucking money in the escrow. Fuck what you saying, I'm not the one that you play with. I think they really was thinking I was the next though. You thought wrong or you all gone? All done. I just might bring back Don Juan. I just might bring back Sean John. Tell P. Diddy that I'm on one. I'ma beat it down with a do-rag. Pussy ate out, just a popcorn. If I fuck with you, that's too bad. How you play it out like the dance song. Ain't no bygones be bygones. I should murder niggas when I buy guns. How you get stretched like nylon. This is my band, I'm Dylon. All I wanna do is just drop bombs. And you cheerleader niggas with the pom-poms. My Jamaica bitch got socks on. Every time I hit it, she be like, wagwan. Peter Piper, pick the pepper, and I pick the pressure. Pick a fighter, pick a side, put you in a stretcher. Peter Piper, pick the banana, put it together. Started popping at the people, they bout to meet the Beretta. Better meet the metal, I'm in need of a heater to measure. Put you deeper than was deeper, the sea of the desert. I was scheming while I'm creeping like 50 feet of the jet. Niggas Peter hit the pedal and put my feet in the metal, goddamn. 508 all on my side, they gon' ride, they gon' ride. Nigga, this a homicide. Oh my god, oh my god. I said I was gon' retire. Bitch, I lied, bitch, I lied. I ain't got no fucking job. This my life, this my way. All of y'all wishy and washy. All my kids in the car seat. I take my dime to hibachi. We do 6-9 like Tekashi. Line in the sand, so much time in your hands. I think y'all need to find you a hobby. God got a plan, hope that God holds your hand. I think I'm about to catch me a body. Tell all my teachers that I said I'm back on my G shit and I'm coming back to get even. I went on tour and got paid, now I'm back in the region and let off this Mac for no reason. You were not witnessing greatness, I'm practically preaching, and this is the passion of Jesus. And all you basic motherfuckers are lacking achievement, and I just been laughing and geeking. Bad to business, I got mad intentions. I ain't perfect, I done made some bad decisions. What is competition? I'm a savage winning. You can have the ditches. I'm a mathematician. I don't see you niggas. I've been lacking vision. You been acting different. I've been acting distant. I'ma do some shit to bring me mad attention. You gon' do some shit that send me back to prison. Whoa. This is uncomfortable. You just keep putting your feet in the fire. I think my gun got a crush on you. Boy, you about to meet your secret admirer. And you do shit you don't wanna do. I do that shit just to keep me inspired. I used to hit it and leave when I wanted to. Now I hit it and be sleeping inside her. Woo! Pull up on him when I pull up on him. Put that motherfucking smoke up on him with the holy water. Jordan Lucas on my hold him on the lead. A motor runner. Ain't too many niggas know about it, but I thought about it. Prayed about it till I learned about it in the morning. But I gotta show him what it's all about it. I'ma call him out. I ain't that nigga you can talk about. You better calm it down. Don't be trying to give me the run around. I'ma shut him down. Goddamn. Wait. 508 all on my side. They gon' ride. They gon' ride. Nigga, this a homicide. Oh my god. Oh my god. I said I was gon' retire. Bitch, I lied. Bitch, I lied. I ain't got no fucking job. This my life. This is God's plan. Someone stop me. I was sent here from Illuminati. Evil scriptures written on my body. Me and Satan pull up in a red Bugatti. Don't be trying to put your fucking arm around me. Bring the drama, it ain't hard to find me. This a lucid dream, it's a out of body. UFO flying while I'm riding shoddy. I'm a ninja, pull up on your Kawasaki. 187 on the cops behind me. This is Hiroshima, this is Nagasaki. I'm a hot Gandhi in a Maserati. Goddamn. Now call me Poppy. Plenty hammers when I'm riding shoddy. Better use your manners when you talk about me. It ain't hard to find me, motherfucker. My name, Joyner.
Oh, that's Joyner Lucas, baby. Man, that song waits in the bushes outside my fucking house for me. God, I love that goddamn tune. Hey, what's up, weirdos? It's Mark Splude, and this is episode 110 of the Spludecast. My guest this week, local comic, Chris Hovey. Not sure. I'm pre-recording this before Chris and I sit down for our chat. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. I don't know what he wants to talk about. He sent me a message a little while ago asking if he'd come on the Spludecast. He must have something to fucking plug or something to say. Maybe he's going to start a beef. Who knows what's going to happen? Really looking forward to it. Episode 110 with Chris Hovey. That is coming up right after what's been going on with me lately. Well, you know, it is Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. Long weekend, man. I've had a fucking great weekend. What'd I do Friday night? Oh, my boy went for a sleep over to his buddy's on Friday night. Wife and I had the house to ourselves. We took full advantage of each other. We we played some board games, man. We sat down and had a couple drinks and played a few word games. We played Probe. We played Scrabble. And, you know, I mean, although I did hold my own, the wife kind of took me to school on the word games. I did okay, you know. Probe is tough for me. Probe is kind of, it's almost like a hangman kind of deal. You got to kind of make up your own word and try to guess your opponent's word. Shit like that. You know, wifey mopped the fucking floor with me. I think I won one round. And I won one round of Scrabble, but she won the series in both games. But, man, just a great Friday night. Woke up Saturday, slept in a little bit Saturday, man. It was nice. Slept into about 9:30, somewhere around there. Got up and did all the shopping. Man, I wanted to get all my fucking chores out of the way early on Saturday because UFC 229, Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Man, I was pumped for this fucking card. If anybody are crossover listeners of the Scrapcast, my MMA podcast that I do with my co-host Matt Connell, we actually sat down. I didn't fucking sleep in. I actually got up early Saturday morning and recorded a podcast. What the fuck am I talking about? Matty came over pretty early, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we fired up the podcast machine and did a, fight day fucking preview, just like an hour-long preview show of the fights, because a lot happened during the fight week, the weigh-ins and the interviews and all that shit. So we wanted to, come up to speed and get fucking hype for that card. That's exactly what we did. The Scrapcast, we put out a special UFC 229 edition. Boy, and this week coming, we're going to be eating some fucking crow, I'll tell you that. Anyway, for more on that, check out the Scrapcast. Certainly, episode 29, I think, should be out already as you're listening to this. Should have been released, but we recapped that event. Check it out. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to get all my chores out of the way so I can enjoy that event. I did. Wifey actually sat down and watched the entire event. She stayed up for the fucking main event. What a wild fucking card, man. Great. The card started with like 3 or 4 fucking head kick knockouts. Just a great card all through. Main event was, huge payoff. Didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But then a huge fucking riot ensued after the fucking fight, spilled into the crowd. People were jumping over the cage and sucker punching Conor McGregor. It got fucking crazy, man. I was off my feet and screaming at the TV when all this was going down. Anyway, like I said, we're going to break it down on the Scrapcast. Check it out. It's already released by the time you're hearing this. Great Saturday, man. But the thing is, the fights didn't get over until around 2 o'clock. Like I said, a riot ensued, so there was a lot of talking points after the fight that wifey and I stayed up and watched. We didn't get to bed till 4:30, something like that, Sunday morning. Didn't matter. I woke up Sunday morning about 8:30, 8:45. Not much fucking sleep, but loaded Bojack on the trailer. Went to my buddy #the Sewell's house, and we ripped the fucking bikes back into the woods. Hey, it's hunting season, right? Just started. Hunting season just started. Deer hasn't started. Bird has. We went out on the bikes, dropped some food at my blind, checked the camera. All I had was a doe. She was in a couple times. I got like fucking 14 raccoons out there eating the food. I've switched from beef finisher to apples. So maybe once the raccoons get all that fucking heartburn from the fruit, maybe that'll back them off the food a little bit. That's the hope anyway. But I do have some deer coming in there. I got a doe tag. I don't care, man. When I go out hunting this year, first thing that fucking walks out is getting dropped. I let a small buck go last year. I just didn't want, a small doe go last year. I just didn't, I wasn't done with hunting. And I ended up not getting a deer for the first year in as many as I can remember. Not going to happen this year. First thing that walks out is getting fucking dropped this year. Then we went, Sewell had a good idea. My buddy Sewell had a good idea. Let's make a secondary fucking spot that you and I can share in case we're not seeing anything, when it gets late in the season. We got another spot. Well, holy fuck, here we go. We go out there. We set up my little pop-up blind out there and camouflage it. We drop some more food out there, and then we check the camera out there. And holy fuck, we've got a monster. We got a whole bunch of buck coming in there, first of all. At least 3 different buck, all good-sized buck. We got a doe coming in there as well. But we have a fucking monster. This thing, the body on it looks like a fucking cow. It's the biggest deer I've ever seen in this area. It's absolutely fucking enormous. Hopefully, either hashtag the Sewell or I drag that fucking thing out of the woods this year. Now, here's the thing with a deer about that, like that, man. Although it would be very exciting to shoot a deer like that, it's a trophy deer. This deer is quite old. I would say he's probably between 8 and 10 years old, at least over 6 years old. And when you get a deer that size, of that age, the meat, it's not quite as fucking good. It's got a little more gamey flavor to it. It's just not, nice, tender meat. It's a little tougher, a little gamier. It's not the best meat. That's why usually when I'm hunting, I'm looking to shoot, a 2 or 3 year old deer, a small buck that, with good meat. But man, I'll tell you, this thing walks out in front of me. I can't wait to fucking put it down. That head will be going up somewhere in this fucking studio. And man, won't that be exciting? The really exciting thing is, at the start of the deer season, you put out your camera, you start seeing all these fucking deer and you do get excited. But every year is the same, right? Before the season, when you have your camera out there, you're seeing all kinds of fucking buck. You never see those buck again when the season actually fucking starts. Every year, the last 5-6 years, I've been seeing, every buck that I see on the camera before the season starts. I never see that buck again. I end up shooting a different deer than what was on the camera. I don't expect to get this deer. There's a reason he's so fucking big with this giant rack of antlers, and he's lived so long. He knows the fucking deal, man. He knows October 22nd, he's got to make his ass fucking scarce, and that's likely what he'll do. But if he does fucking slip, if he slips just once, it's going to be the end of that fucking 8-year run for that motherfucker, and his head is going to be hanging right up here in Spludecast Studios. The exciting thing is just the thought of it, right? It's just the idea. I know that it's probably not going to happen, but it's something that I can think about when I lay my head down on the pillow at night and fucking dream about this giant deer. It's so nice to see him on the fucking camera. Real cool. I mean, this guy is he's fucking enormous, man. Crazy fucking deer. The dick on him. You see, this guy dresses to the left, and I mean fucking way out to the left. I got this sideways kind of picture of him, and his fucking dick sticks right out to the left side. And what a hog on this guy. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, it's pretty fucking exciting, man, when you got deer like that sniffing around your camera. But yeah, Sunday, it was kind of shitty, man. A little bit of drizzle. It was cold and miserable. There's been a lot of water down. There's a lot of fucking mud. Sue and I just ripped it up, man. We had a grand old time. Spent quite a few hours in the fucking woods grooming stuff and everything like that. Just having a damn good time. Last night, what happened last? Oh, yes. So last night, my son decided to stay over his friends again last night. So wifey and I took advantage of each other yet again, but we also sat down to play some more games. Last night we sat down and played this game called Wizard. It's a card game. It's very similar to a game called 13s, if you guys have ever heard that, where you got to kind of bid tricks and you get more and more cards as you go along. Right up to 20 in Wizard, which is crazy. Trying to bid, you got 20 cards in your hand. You got to bid the exact amount of lifts you're going to get. Very challenging game, but I mopped the fucking floor with the wife. I got my revenge from Friday night. We're tied right now when it comes to the fucking games from Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, also, I should mention that Sunday after, when I come back from out of the woods, we sat down for our Thanksgiving dinner. We had a ham, mashed potatoes, corn, peas, rolls, all that fucking shit. Great time. It was just me, the wife, and the boy. We sat down and we gave our thanks to each other and for everything we have in this world right now. I'm thankful for Jimmy and Johnny. It was great, man. We cracked the crackers and we had a good fucking time. We all pitched in and cleaned up the mess. It was a great Thanksgiving dinner. I am not interested in going to people's houses for these big fucking dinners and mingling with all these goddamn people. Not fucking interested, man. I started my own family for a reason, right? So I can have my own fucking dinners. Just the three of us. Absolutely lovely. Took the boy to his friends and just had a great goddamn night. And today is Monday. As I record this, it's Monday, 6:37 p.m. here on the east coast of Canada. I just got back. I actually just unloaded Bojack and put the trailer back. I got up early this morning, loaded him up, and off the fucking Cambridge Narrows I went to help my good friend Jim Hovey. So I'm doing a podcast tonight with Chris Hovey. I was building a deer blind today with James Hovey. We got I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these fucking names, boys. We need to fucking find we need to come together on a consensus for this name. It's fucking me up. I don't like it. Anyway, yeah, Jim has got Jim's taken up the hunt, man. He started hunting last year. This is going to be his second season. He didn't drop anything last year, but pretty typical for your first year of the hunts. It's very difficult to get a deer when you don't really know what the fuck you're doing. And he wasn't set up either and didn't have a lot of time. And we all got excuses why we didn't drop deer last year. But he decided he wanted to build a blind out there. His family's got a camp up there in Cambridge Narrows. He wanted to put a blind back there. So he had been pre-building walls and shit. So I brought Bojack on the trailer with my truck up there, unloaded the trailer, hooked the trailer up to Bojack, loaded all of his fucking shit on top of the trailer, cut a trail out there wide enough to get out there with the trailer, and brought all the fucking shit out there, man. I couldn't stay long enough to help him assemble it. Listen, here's the thing. I thought he was going to have it all fucking built. That's the thing. I thought he was going to have it all fucking framed up, and we'd load up the frames, bring it out, assemble it out there. Fucking Jim's done, ready to hunt. Anyway, Jim was not completely prepared. And here's one thing I said, man, I love Jim. It was, his brother Rick's a good guy. There's a couple kids out there, Rick's kids. Of course, Jim's dad, Eric, was out there. Nice meeting him. And so I show up. Here we go. I've only got a few hours. I only got fucking 4.5 hours to give you. So let's, utilize it as much as possible. And we don't have anything, it's not fucking all built. Here we are fucking building shit. And these guys, honest to fuck, these Hovies, none of them are getting any fucking speeding tickets. I've never seen men move so slow on a work site. That's a fucking lie. That's not true. I've seen people move way fucking slower, but Jesus, just no sense of urgency. Hey, we got the guy with the fucking bike and trailer out here. Maybe we should, kick our ass into a higher fucking gear here. And Jesus, just dragging their fucking asses. Definitely not getting any speeding tickets. Anyway, we got the whole fucking lot of her out there. We got everything out there. All Jim's got to do now is put it all together in the fucking spot, and he's ready to go. But man, I am fucking exhausted. A couple times loading up that fucking trailer this weekend. Real physical day today. Not so much yesterday. It's more just mostly riding yesterday, but real physical day today, carrying around wood and building shit and fucking lugging it out there, and just a lot of fucking manual labor. And I'm not really fucking used to that these days. I kind of have it, kind of easy at work. Not easy, but physically, my job is quite easy now. So yeah, that was that put a big first of all, it put a big pain in my fucking back. But yeah, I'm not used to it. It was a real fucking physical day out there today. But man, it just felt good, huh? It felt good just to spend so much goddamn time in the woods this weekend. Man, it was fucking great. Didn't do any comedy, didn't see any comedy, didn't watch any comedy on TV. I gotta be honest, man. I'm getting a little fucking tired of comedy. I don't know what it is, man. Now listen, I love doing comedy. You give me a fucking stage and a microphone and some new material, I have a fucking ball. But the fucking business of comedy, it's getting very close to driving me right. So full of fucking backstabbing idiots. I'm so sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. And, I've been canceling a few shows here and there because there's certain people I don't want to fucking work with. Here's the thing, man. Sure enough, I can show up and be civilized or say nothing and still do my set. I don't think my heart is in comedy enough to put up with that kind of fucking shit, man. If I'm going to do shows from here on out, I'm only doing shows with people I fucking like. I had this fucking rule before, and I tried to stick to it. I went away from it a little bit, And I've been away from it again. But I'm getting back to that, man. I'm not doing that fucking shit anymore. It's not going to be any fun for me to show up and do a show with somebody that I don't want to fucking be around. I don't even want to be associated with, So I've actually cleared my schedule, man. I canceled everything for the rest of the year. Now I am holding out for if a couple shows go through, I may do them, but I'm pulling back again from fucking comedy, man. I just got back in, had a fun run with that new bit that I wrote, and it's not even for lack of material, because man, fucking craziest thing. Here's something real weird. And I got to do this more often. Obviously, this is a sign that I have to do this more often. While I was watching the fights, I had a pen and I had a notebook, and I was taking down notes for the Scrapcast, the MMA podcast I do. I was taking notes for these fights because, I mean, let's face it, there's 14 fights. I'm not going to remember everything. So, I'm making these notes. But just the act of writing down these fucking notes triggered something in my head. I started writing fucking comedy. Some good stuff, too. We'll see, man. I mean, I might sit down and write another 10 or 15 or 20 minutes and want to get it onto a fucking stage. We'll see what happens, man. Right now, all of my focus is going on the fucking hunt, and that's what I'm going to be focused on for the next month, at least maybe a month and a half. We'll see. But, next weekend I am going to go out to visit Matt Copeland, creator of Hard Times. That's dropping November 1st, season 2, the premiere. November 1st. Anyway, I'm going to go and see Matt, and we're going to sit down and come up with some ideas, man. We're going to do this little sketch show or whatever, this web series sketch fucking deal. We're going to sit down next Saturday night, come up with some ideas, come up with a cast, and see what happens. Really looking forward to that. That's probably as much comedy as I'm going to be involved in until all the meat's in the fucking freezer this year, in all honesty. So, anyway, hang in there. I'm going to be talking to comics. If you listen to this for the comedy, I'm still going to be talking to comics. I'm still going to be talking about comedy. Hey, did you guys see fucking Joe Rogan's new special, Strange Times? Man, now that's some fucking comedy. Wow, I was fucking blown away by this special. I think it's even better than Triggered. Thing about Joe is one of my favorite fucking personalities of all time. I love his MMA commentating. I love his podcast. And I even enjoyed him on Fear Factor, but I never really enjoyed his stand-up comedy until Triggered. If I'm being completely honest, not really my style. And even this new one, Strange Times, it's not really my style, man. He's real, I don't know, he's real fucking yelly, but the material and what he was saying in this fucking special, man. If you haven't seen Strange Times yet, it's on Netflix, Joe Rogan. Check it out. It's a fucking dynamite comedy special. Now listen, comedy's subjective. You may not like it. I fucking loved it and would highly, highly recommend that, along with season 2 of Big Mouth, which Jamie and I have been enjoying immensely. I think I'm on episode 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Coach Steve is getting laid. I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on in there. Great fucking cartoon that is, man. I'm so excited that's back. What else? What the fuck else has been going on? Oh, by the way, guys, thanks a million to my listeners. The fucking feedback I've been getting lately has been insane. Great positive feedback for my last podcast, Darren Frost. I know it was a phone interview. It's kind of fucked up when you listen to a phone interview because it does take you out of the conversation a little bit. Just in the beginning, though, I listened back to that Darren Frost podcast, and man, that was fucking really good. But anyway, outpouring of positive fucking feedback from actually my last 3, from Shane Ogden, Andrew Vaughn, and Darren Frost. People are telling me I've turned a corner. I'm a fucking million times better. Here's the deal, man. It all comes down to the guest. I mean, sure, I do my thing. I shoot my mouth off. I talk to people. I love having these fucking, deep conversations with people. I dig the shit out of it. And I thought Darren was very forthcoming in that last podcast. I can't thank him enough for being so open and honest. That's not an easy thing to do, man, when you're, Darren's more in the limelight than any of us comics around here. It's not an easy thing to do, to be the honest fucking comic when you're trying to do it for a living. It's easy for me, right? There's no fucking consequences for me. I can say whatever the fuck I want on here or in any interview or conversation or whatever. I got nothing to fucking lose. Darren's got everything to lose, right? I mean, his whole fucking career is riding on what he says, on stage and off. So I really do want to thank Darren. I can't wait to watch him perform when he's in town, and I can't wait to take that workshop with Mux. I think Matt Connell's going to do it with me. I think Godsow's already signed up. I'm going to see if Arif wants to get in on that. Anyway, really looking forward to that fucking workshop on October 20th. That's about the only comedy thing I'm going to be doing during the hunt. That's actually 2 days before the deer hunt, so that's okay. Anyway, yeah, just great feedback from those, especially from the last 3 fucking podcasts. Thanks, everybody. Also want to give a big shout out to Atlanta, Hotlanta. Man, I have never seen Atlanta on my list of listeners before, and now there are 9. Now, listen, guys, if you're listening in Atlanta, share this fucking podcast. Tell your friends about it if you dig it. Only if you dig it. Or hell, listen. Go ahead and listen to it if you really hate it too. I've got some of those listeners. There's a few of those kicking around. Jesus Christ. Chris Hovey's going to be here in 12 minutes. I'm going to have to fucking wrap this shit up. Yeah. Episode 110 of the Spludecast with Chris Hovey. You know what to do. Do I even have to tell you? Oh, Mark's got another catchphrase. Hey, shut your mouth and fucking drive her into you. Chris Hovey.
Yes, sir.
Back on the Spludecast. I was looking, I actually listened to our last podcast a couple days ago. Episode 78. It's fucking been a little while.
It has, yeah. It's been, I don't know, it was winter, so
Yeah.
6 or 8 months, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what's changed.
I know, it's going to be fun.
I spent the day today hanging out with a fucking family full of Hoveys.
Yep.
And now I'm here with a Hovey.
I mean,
What are we going to do about these names?
short term, I have no idea. I have no idea. The only thing I can figure is James and I have to fight, and the one that wins
Oh, shit.
gets his.
How about roast battle? Oh,
roast
now
battle
we're
for-
fucking talking.
roast battle for pronunciation rights.
Yes. I think we're onto something here, Chris. Right?
I don't hate it.
What's going on? You sent me a message saying I want to come on the Spludecast. That never happens. What's happening?
Well, Mark, you and I don't get a chance to chat that often. This is a good opportunity. Last time was good, so I thought let's sit down. Let's talk about stuff.
It's good thinking. Yeah,
lot
because
going on.
it was shortly after you and I sat down and talked last time that I don't know why the fuck. Oh, there we go. Shortly after that, I took my 5-month hiatus.
That's right.
I'm close to taking another one.
Yeah. It's just going that well, is it?
Came back for 4 sets, and I'm already thinking,
Yeah.
I don't know about this comedy thing, You going strong? What's been going on with you lately?
Well, stand-up wise, was doing shows.
Yes.
And then I run it at the Art Center the 15th of last month.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, did a
Man,
big
I
one.
really wanted to come to that fucking show and see you do that.
You were in Hell's Basement
Yeah, we
there,
were in
right?
Hell's Basement
Yeah.
that night with Shaney. Shaney. How the fuck was that? Set the show up for me. Did you you closed it out, obviously.
Yeah,
How
I
much
did.
time did you do?
It ended up being about 45. And that was the material from the last year or so that I liked.
Okay, that wasn't all your shit. That was all your shit edited to
I
your
probably
favorite.
had another 10 to 15 that I didn't really think was worth doing.
Yeah, could be filler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I sort of realized like I was working 3 different 15-minute sets, right? Because where I'm at, I'm being asked to do 15-minute sets fairly often.
Absolutely.
So I was kind of rotating through 3 of them, and I thought, fuck, it's 45 minutes.
That's a show. Put her together.
Let's do it. And I wanted an excuse to move on from it.
Yeah.
I'd been doing some of those jokes for, not consistently. I'd set them aside and then come back to them. But I've been doing some of them for a year, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought, I want an excuse to set it aside and kind of start over.
Yeah.
So I set up the show. I had Thane Fox on the show.
Nice. Was he the host?
No.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh,
No.
this is
that's
interesting.
the twist,
so,
Mark.
Yeah. So
That's
who's
the
the
big
host?
twist.
Yeah. Major
So
twist.
I asked him to be the host originally.
Right.
But then a second host became available, and I just couldn't pass it up. Newcomer to the scene.
Who's this?
Come on, scene. Art Hovey.
Art
Hovey. My dad made a joke.
You're fucking kidding.
Yeah. So when I was setting the show up, he's like, "Hey, if you need a host, just get at me." And I was like, "Ha, all right, sure." And then like the third or fourth time he made a joke about it, I thought, "Fuck, he really wants to do it." And then sure enough, he made a joke again. I said, "You know what? You get the job."
No fucking shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love this fucking story.
Worst case scenario, I get to make fun of him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? He went up, and it's first time on stage in this capacity, right?
Right.
And he went out and he did well, and then he came up again after Thane, and he did even better.
No shit.
Yeah. And
So did he write a bunch of material? Like he was fucking prepared material?
Oh, he took this very seriously. He wrote material down. He asked me what's the best way to get my stuff out.
Right.
So I told him how I did it. It's not necessarily the best way, but it's how I work.
It's all you know.
Maybe he thinks the same.
Sure.
So he wrote everything out the way he would say it, and then he wrote everything out in bullet points, and then he just practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced.
Beautiful.
And
no paper on stage?
No paper on stage. No notes.
Art.
No notes.
I love you already.
So we had a little intermission for the show.
Right.
So people could buy some more drinks. We came back, and I was the only person after the intermission, so I said, "You've got as much time as you like."
So it was just Art, Thane, and you?
No, I also had Maggie asked to come down from Fredericton.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, man.
She'd never done a St. John show.
Right.
I really dig her. She does really well in Fredericton. I thought, you know what? Let's try someone new.
Yeah.
And she did well.
Yeah.
I had her up after Thane, which might have been a bit of a mistake because he went from cartoonish energy to like she's got almost like a Ron White vibe. She's kind of
maybe in hindsight, maybe it should have been the other way around.
I would have ordered it slightly different.
Yeah.
But we did the intermission, and he comes out, and Mark, he told a story, and he would have blown away 90% of the comics in the city.
No kidding.
He tore that room apart.
Oh man, I love this.
It was about,
did anybody film it?
5 or 7 minutes. There's a guy from work that came to the show that I think might have gotten it. I was too busy worrying about being on stage, but
and
also
it's your
enjoying him.
Yeah.
That I didn't think to take the video.
Well, first of all, you're running the show. You're closing the show.
Right.
Right. And you got to worry about your old man on stage. Yeah.
But I did record everything audio.
Oh, beautiful.
So I do have them.
Oh, please send it to me.
I do have them on audio. Sure, yeah.
Please send it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather see it, but I definitely want to fucking hear it.
There was a guy from work who was videotaping a lot of stuff, so he might have gotten it. I
Yeah.
could ask him about it. But that was the last time I was on stage. I haven't been on stage in about a month.
You're kidding. Oh, wow.
So Sunday, I'm up at After Dark, just doing a regular set.
Oh, beautiful.
And I've got some
opening
stuff ready.
for the roast battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm stepping out a little, Mark. I'm stepping out into some territory that I normally don't
What are you gonna do?
delve into.
What are you going to do?
Well, I don't know how to explain it without giving too much away.
Right. Give me a hint. You got to give me something. You can't fucking say that and
Well,
then just go,
okay.
You'll have to
Okay.
wait and see. Now, I'm going to be
Okay.
there. I'm
Okay,
judging the roast
excellent.
battle.
Good. Again,
So,
good.
yeah.
They didn't ask me to come back as a judge.
No.
Apparently
Well,
they didn't care for my
I
opinion.
guess you didn't judge
I
very
didn't
well.
judge well enough.
I think people are just afraid of me.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
And I ask for it.
Well, I think
right?
I think it's a good idea for you to come back as a judge every week.
Yeah.
and be
Well, I thought
consistent
it was weird they had Shandon there because she's in the competition. That was a little weird.
conflict of interest,
I mean,
rather.
it's the stakes are pretty low. It's not that
Sure.
big of a deal. But honestly, if I was in that roast battle, I'd probably make a bit of a stink about it.
I mean, it would be a lot cleaner if that wasn't happening.
Yeah,
right? But
yeah, not a huge deal. Not by any means. All right, so give me something. You got to give me something.
all right. Well,
You're going outside your comfort zone.
I am.
What are you doing?
I will say this: there was a couple in the States, a doctor and his girlfriend, who were recently arrested because they were drugging and raping droves of women.
Jesus Christ, this sounds funny.
And well, not yet, but I have
Talk
some
about
thoughts
material.
about it. I have some thoughts about it
Right.
that I would like to.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So
Just about
opinion piece.
a little bit.
Yes. Okay, I like it.
To comfort anybody, it's more about that relationship dynamic.
Right.
Like, how do you?
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Don't you know what? Say no more because I'm excited to see it now.
It's about the relationship dynamic that results.
And I will come on. This will come out Thursday.
Okay.
In a few days. But when I do my intro, I'll tell the people all about it.
Awesome.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that, man. Chris, I love your fucking comedy, man. And when you first started, anytime there's a hot rookie who starts around here, I always look because I was the fucking hot rookie, right?
Sure,
so I always look at them and go, okay, well, what do we have here? Like, do we have a lot of potential? Do we have a bringer? And, we talked about this last time. I kind of wrote you off a little bit with the bringers. And then when I did see you, I was like, okay, there's some smart stuff in here. But I was like, he's talking about a lot of neighborhood, things going on in his neighborhood and stuff. Yeah. I was like, nothing real deep or whatever. But it didn't matter because you were getting the fucking laughs. And I was like, okay, I got to see him a couple more times. I love your fucking comedy, man.
Thanks,
You really are a fucking killer around here, and you've done it very, very quickly.
Thank you. I mean, I try to stay consistent, and it's funny you say that because when I listened back to the audio from the show, a lot of it struck me as just kind of. There's nothing wrong with silly, but it was almost like this is kind of. I don't know. I wasn't taking a bite at anything. You know what I mean? I wasn't really.
Yeah, but you're gonna
getting
Sunday.
into anything. And I mean, I think I had some material that was kind of smart, but like some of the stuff.
All your jokes are
especially
smart,
from
dude.
the beginning.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, oh, look a big idiot on my moped.
Yeah, but
and
you know what?
It gets laughs.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
That's right.
But I don't know. I'm kind of ready to see if there's another gear.
Yeah. Oh, there's many fucking gears. There are many gears.
I cut myself some slack, right?
Yeah.
First year.
You have to, man. If I look back on my first year, I was the same as you. Walk in a room, do great no matter what. And but the substance wasn't there. Right. Obviously not where it is now. Right. Exactly. So when you're beginning, if when you're starting, when you go out, if you can get laughs consistently, that's the goal.
Right. Absolutely.
But I love it that you're looking back and going, yeah, there's not enough there. There's not quite enough there. I got my laughs. I got through. I proved that I belong in this scene and somewhere near the top of the scene, really. And but it's not good enough for you. And that's what fucking love.
The thing for me is I found that I was taking a scenario a lot of the time that was funny to begin with. Mm-hmm. That was worth a chuckle, just in itself.
Yeah, and punch it up all
and
around.
And then punching it up, which is great. I mean, that's fine. But the idea of taking something that's not funny.
Yeah, and turning it funny. Yeah,
and punching it up is kind of what's interesting me now. But
yeah,
we'll see what I come up with. Over next year. But.
Yeah, well, and you'll continue to evolve. I felt that way about my material, and then I thought I was doing smarter stuff, and then I really started, for whatever reason, what I was writing, what was coming to me was this anti-feminist stuff. It's just I was just pushing back because I hate society. Not so much society. Internet society.
Yeah, exactly.
If that makes sense.
I
totally hated what I was seeing when I was online, which is, so now I'm not writing that stuff, and it's probably because I'm not online anymore, So now I'm looking inward. Most of the stuff I'm writing now is, just personal stuff, stories, and, childhood stuff. But you will continue to evolve, fuck, every time you get up there, you're going to evolve. And every time you sit down and write, the writing is going to evolve, right?
Well, I mean, life keeps changing too, right? And with every new step or stage is a new bunch of shit to write about, right? Like, I bought a house this last June.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because I thought, like, there'll be a bunch of material that stems from this.
Right.
Sort of immediately.
Sure.
And there wasn't. But it's coming to me now, after a few months. Like, I'm starting to kind of mull over the process of going through it and everything.
New neighbors and shit, too.
New neighbors.
Yeah, all kinds
We're
of stuff.
also, where our backyard ends, the Reversing Falls begins. Like,
we're
shit. Right on the cove there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, really weird piece of property we got a hold of.
Good place for your health really there.
I mean, it's great,
that
right?
pulp mill's right there.
Yeah. So good.
When the wind blows the right way.
Yeah. We get to watch all the confused tourists on the bridge look for where the falls actually is.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're always very underwhelmed.
So are you on Riverview? Like where?
Riverview.
You're on Riverview Road. Okay, I know exactly. That's what I figured, right?
Yeah.
We manage quite a few houses actually on that street.
Right on.
Yeah. It's a great fucking street, man. Great view.
It is. I struggle to tell people where quite we live because I don't want to say, well, it's Lower West.
Oh, you don't want to say Lower West.
But I don't want to utter those words because
No.
people go, oh, what are you
I bought
doing?
a house in Lower West.
Right.
You know, yeah, you want
Right.
to tell someone you're stupid.
Yeah,
Go.
exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead and say that, unless you
But no,
bought a
it's a
rental.
nice, it's a nice little street. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's a great fucking
Yeah,
street,
we're
man.
happy
And you're
with
right there to the highway, right? You got a fucking Walmart right there. You got everything right there. It's a
Yep.
good location. But it's
for that
away
damn
from
Pope now.
But yeah, exactly. Except for that.
Yeah.
But you're also kind of almost out of the city. It feels like when you're on that street.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
You're not like
isolated.
a neighborhood. It's just like one road.
Yeah, it's
you know?
isolated.
Yeah, it's a nice spot, man. I like that. But so you haven't done comedy since the 15th.
I have not.
Jesus, I've done comedy more recently than you. That's crazy. What's the next move? So you got the
I'm doing Laughter Dark.
Laughter Dark Sunday.
I am on Shane's Arts Center show on October 19th.
Oh, nice.
Actually, before Sunday, I'm at the Abbey on Wednesday. Because I got to polish up this new stuff before
Abbey?
Shane's show.
What the fuck is the Abbey?
It's the one in Fredericton?
Oh, okay.
The Abbey Cafe?
Oh, yeah. I'd never get an invite there.
It's an open mic. I mean,
I
you
might
know.
be a little too anti-feminist for that
an open
room,
mic.
but you know,
It's,
I don't think I belong. I don't think anybody in Fredericton wants me up there telling fucking jokes, dude. You know,
It's
like
it's a
Will's
more
room,
liberal-
the
it's a more
social
liberal crowd.
It's a
little
social
bit-
justice fucking crowd. Let's be honest, you know. But I mean, you should be able to do comedy anywhere.
Well,
but-
that's, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But I don't know. To me, the Fredericton scene, until Troy fires something up at a fucking hotel, I'm probably not traveling up there for comedy.
I would say these guys are even a little more. Well, for example, it's the middle of the week,
Right.
right? So no one's
Like a
drinking.
Wednesday? Is Wednesday?
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So no one's drinking. And it's a basement of a cafe that offers vegan options. So you're getting, you're getting a certain crowd.
My asshole's puckering just thinking about it.
But it's a good little room. It's
It's a stage, man. It's a
stage.
microphone. Yeah.
And I always kind of keep in mind that there's 3 major cities that people are doing comedy in New Brunswick right now.
Yeah.
A lot of funny people come out of the Miramichi, but there's not a lot happening in the Miramichi.
Well,
in
who
terms
the
of
fuck is going to drive up there? I know Joe is
that's
doing
my
an open
problem.
mic up there, but and it's great, man. I love that Joe is trying to bring comedy to the Miramichi, but trying to get the comics to come to the Miramichi.
I feel bad, but I won't do it.
Yeah,
I really haven't.
Well, it's a
yet.
Wednesday night as well, right?
It's a Wednesday night. It's
Yeah,
a 3
man.
or 4 hour drive. It's
Oh, man. Drive home after the fucking show,
Yeah,
3 hours,
or
and then fucking
take a Thursday off, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's a
guess. So
tricky
you're gonna take
for
a
an open
Thursday
mic.
off for 4 fucking people. I don't know what kind of turnouts he's getting up there.
I don't know.
Actually, it's Joe. He's probably getting a decent fucking turnout.
I mean, if the comedy, everyone shows up initially
Yeah,
because they're curious. But if the comedy remains at a high quality, people continue to come. So
yeah.
he could very well have good
It's tough.
audiences.
That's tough, man. It's not. You know what I mean? There are very few high quality comics in the region. I mean, there are a lot of people doing it, but if you say high quality to draw people back, there's not dozens and dozens.
One that can't
right?
be the same people every time either,
Well, this is it.
because then they get tired of it. And how fast can you write? And
Yeah.
everything else.
But I know Miramichi it's open to comedy, man. Like back in I think it was 2013. I was up there, me and Mux, and we brought what was the headliner's name? God, I can't remember. He was a great fucking guy too. Anyway, we went up there just on a whim. I didn't think there was going to be anybody there. It was just at a bar, and fucking jam, standing room only. What a great fucking show!
Unreal.
I was so new to comedy
cool.
then. That was my first 6 months of comedy.
Yes, sir.
Fucking road trip to Miramichi. It was one of the only shows that I actually performed at in this province in my first 6 months. Right? It was just there was nothing going on. No, there wasn't any no jokes barred
suppose,
or
yeah.
fucking shit like that at the time. But yeah, it's a little far to travel.
It for a weeknight open mic. It is.
Yeah.
So the way I figure is, if we've got St. John, Fredericton, and Moncton, you should have material that works
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Or at least in 2 of the 3. I mean,
Ding.
there's
I'll-
some stuff.
I'll
that's
check
just,
that one off.
Well, exactly. There's some stuff that's just not going to get out if you're presenting stuff that doesn't necessarily jive with the most modern liberal ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be super hot in Fredericton.
For sure. I think like the
But-
material I was doing before I burned it all and took my hiatus in April, I don't think that material would be presentable in Fredericton. I think what I'm doing now would be.
Right.
And I obviously the stuff I did before. I mean, fuck, man, I've been doing Fredericton since 2013, and never had a.
And you would be able to write for it. It's not that you're not. It's just that you've chosen a topic that they're not
Yeah,
a fan of.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you're capable of writing.
it's funny every time I go to Fredericton. Like I haven't done comedy there since July of 2016. But even when I go there, I just feel, I don't know, I feel unwelcome. I just feel unwelcome there. Maybe it's the aggressive way I look. I don't know. It's just kind of I get a bad vibe in that town, man. I don't know what the fuck
Oh,
it
they're
is.
very different. I mean, St. John, by and large, is a blue collar city.
Yeah.
Right? And people are, I don't know, people don't seem...
People are on welfare. I'll say it for you.
People just
And
don't seem as
those
offended
are
by some
my
of this
people.
stuff. They don't seem offended by some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Moncton is very much a service industry town. And
Well, the thing about Moncton
commerce town.
is the venue,
Right.
like Hell's Basement, you can do anything there. Like those people come out for fucking comedy,
Yep.
man. You can get away with murder there. You can do light, silly stuff. You can do all clean stuff. You can do fucking crazy. Man, I love that fucking room.
So good.
How many times have you been up there?
3.
Yeah, beautiful. Same here.
3. So I went up the first time with...
Like when you say the first time, the first show?
The first show I went up there for.
Yeah.
Was it 3 times? Maybe just twice now that I'm thinking about it. But I went up... No, I went up with Matt on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
To
Millennials
open
show?
For, no, we were opening for Ian...
Black?
No.
Esty.
Shit.
You were opening for Ian Esty.
Opening for Ian Esty. We were. He was
I
doing
love
an Elvis cover set.
Yes.
And he wanted us to open for him.
Nice.
Oh, shit, I cannot. Ian Wright?
Matt Wright?
No, it was
No.
definitely an Ian.
It was definitely an Ian.
Anyhow, he was in town.
Yeah.
And I think he was doing Yucks that weekend. And they snuck a Wednesday show at Hell's Basement.
Oh, nice.
So I went up and opened for him.
Yeah.
And Matt hosted.
Oh, beauty.
And then he headlined.
And how was that show?
That went really well.
Yeah.
That went great.
Yeah.
So then I went up to open for Matt and Sam for the farewell tour.
Oh, okay, right.
And that went really well. And Brian Otter was there. And Evan Steves was there.
I like Brian, man. I've only seen him do comedy once.
Good dude.
Yeah, man.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he was nice and friendly. I like what he did on stage. Evan Steve, same
Yep,
story.
same deal.
Yeah, I don't know either one of those guys very well. Maybe I should have him sit in the chair
I
you're
don't know
sitting
Brian
one day.
super well. I've been getting to know Evan.
Yeah.
Mostly because we did a trip to Bangor together.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
for comedy
He and I.
on a Rev show.
Nope.
Oh, talk to me.
well, sort of.
Okay.
I think it was Matt Keenan had gone down to do a show in Bangor for people who make dentures.
Oh right.
And I believe
I heard him talk about this on his
yeah,
podcast.
I believe that they talked to the guy that runs this tap room. I think that's what they called him.
Right.
It's a brewery.
Sorry about that.
And, God damn it, Mark.
Jesus.
Come on.
It's my daughter. What are you gonna do?
Kids.
Yeah. So anyway, fucking
I think they called it a tap room. It's a brewery and a bar.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Like a craft brewery.
right.
So he had talked to him then, got him on board for the idea of doing a show, and then Matt couldn't do it for some reason. So it was myself, Sam Laidman, Godso, Steve Fudge, and Evan.
Oh fuck all the
went down.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So took the drive down in my 2-door Accord,
Yes.
which was super
All
fun.
of you in
All
one
of us in the one
Oh
vehicle.
my
Yeah.
Jesus
'Cause
Christ.
we only wanted to take one all the way. We met in St. Stephen. But we only wanted to take one all the way down, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then Brian did not have his passport.
oh fuck.
So he brought, I think it was a birth certificate and a driver's license.
Right.
And they let us through, but not before taking us out, asking us questions, checking the car, yada, yada, yada.
Hey, I've been there, brother.
Yeah, we did go through Milltown 10 minutes before it closed,
Right.
which I think helped us out a little bit.
Sure.
And it became clear pretty quick that we were comics going down for a show because we wouldn't stop screwing around in the little room they take you in to ask you questions.
Yeah.
So went all the way down. Had a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, the people were great, and that place treated us like gold.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. So are guys going back there? You guys going to be going back
I
there?
don't think anyone has yet, but I'd
Yeah.
love to. I mean,
Yeah.
they gave us a meal. They gave us a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Steve Fudge asked if he could buy a 4-pack of the guy's beer before
Yes.
we left.
Yes.
Buddy brought over a 2-4 for us to split.
No
Like,
shit.
Yeah, good beer
Beauty.
too. Good
Yeah.
beer too.
Yeah.
Now Steve thought we could bring it back across the border. It turns out we were not supposed to
How come? Because it's craft? What do you mean?
because we hadn't been down long enough.
Oh,
We went down and
okay.
back in the same night.
Yeah.
Which was ultimately ill-advised too, but anyhow. I rolled in the driveway at 6:30 in the morning, I think, just
Oh,
after the sun came out.
Jesus fucking
Yeah, it was
Christ.
a long drive. Long drive
Wow.
down and back. But we went through it about 4 in the morning, and she just sent us on our way. But
Nice. Yeah. That's man. That border, like when they pull you into the building, shit gets fucking serious.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled me into the building and held me in that main room for a few hours, and then they brought me out fucking back. And that's just
Jesus.
It's similar to that room, except you're in jail.
Right. Right. No windows. Yeah.
Exactly. It was horrifying, man. It was terrifying because, I was 2 feet away from my country, but I wasn't allowed to go back to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were fucking.
There should be a way where you can
custody.
at some point say, you know what, I don't want to anymore. I'm just gonna go home.
That's exactly what I said. I said, you know what, guys, I don't want to get in your country that badly, even though I was headlining a show in a couple of hours. I just want to go back to my country. And he, you know what he said to me? He said, well, we're just trying to figure out if that's going to happen or not. Holy good. Shit. Oh yeah, no, I tried to just say, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just turn around here. No. Now you're in our country, and we have questions, and you're not fucking going anywhere. Yeah, terrifying, absolutely terrifying, man. Because
I can't imagine.
Yeah, because I'm at, I'm in the United States, and they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want with me, So anyway, yeah, terrifying. But that's good, man. That I honestly think, and here's one of the things that fucked with me after that happened to me, because my plan was to work my way up that eastern seaboard of the United States and become like a fucking road dog and start making money and building my career down there. And that was snatched from me. Really fucked with me. Yeah, it really fucked with me. But there's an opportunity there for you.
It could be.
Yeah.
But so I ran into Evan and Brian at Matt and Sam show,
right?
Basement, and they said, well, and that was Thursday, and they said, well, can you come back Saturday and do the 7 for 7 show that we're doing?
Right.
Fuck yeah, all right, why not?
Yeah.
So I went back up that Saturday. So that was so that was the 3 times, and I love
7 for 7. What was it? 7 comics for $7?
7 comics for $7.
Oh fuck, that's
Starts
great,
at
man.
7. Yeah, it was great. It was really good, and it was similar to the local talent showcase at the DLEX.
Oh yes,
right?
okay.
You get whatever 10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah, right. That's that room that Shannon's got up there, that Hell's Basement, man. That is fucking something. That is something. I mean, of course you wish it seated more people.
Sure.
But it would take away a little bit of the charm.
I think so.
Yeah. I fucking loved the last time we were up there. When was that? Well, that was the night of your show.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah, the 15th. And man, just fire. And it was so weird because I had written this new material, went to O'Leary's for my big comeback, and it was so flat. There was nobody there. And it was a real downer for the new material. And so it made me question the material when I was up there. Fuck, man. It was so good. Such a great show. Ara fucking killed up there. Great fucking show that was.
The thing I like about that spot, and we get a little bit of it here, but what I like about that spot is, you go in, and like I say, Brian and Evan are there, and they're there all the time.
Yeah.
And they just go ahead, right?
Yeah.
And Shannon's there, and Shannon comes out. You had a good set, and Shannon will buy you a beer.
Yeah.
And it very much feels like, for the Moncton comics at least, I would imagine, it very much feels like their place.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
man, I feel it fucking home there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine where, and you get a little bit of it with Yucks. Because you go in and Steve says hi, and the girls get to know you at the door and stuff, and, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's still that corporate feeling about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not home cooking.
And the nice thing is about Hell's Basement is, like, Sam and Matt were able to do their farewell show. They had you guys come up on a Saturday on a peak night.
Oh yeah.
Right? New Brunswick Comics headline in the place.
Yeah. As it fucking should be. You know? And then if you get an opportunity for an out of towner, like I brought Danber up there, that's fucking great too.
We'll talk about him a little bit.
Oh yeah, we can absolutely talk about Danber a little bit.
Talk about Danber a little
bit.
Because
now
I may have provided myself with an opportunity outside of my grasp here. I don't know.
Oh, talk to me. I'm
nervous.
Let's talk about now. First of all, I just wanted to say, I think you should go to Chuckles more. Because
I should.
That's more of a, Shane's been doing comedy around here since 2009, doing shows. For me, that's my home club. I built the stage.
Yep.
Shane and I we didn't start it together. It's always been his show, but I was on board when that show started there.
Right. Actually, I did want to get into that, because I think if it was, because it's not, the bar is not Shane's place.
No.
But if that were the case,
it
would be Hell's Basement more.
Oh, fuck yeah,
right?
big time.
But 1 weekend a month, it is his place.
Yes.
And it's his show, and it's his, and you do get that home feeling.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not every weekend, because it can't be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Too bad. It's too bad.
And I don't know. There may be a time if the city will support it. There may be a time where there is a place like that around here. Then, and I would hope that Shane and yourself and this would be involved with it. And
yeah. What about Danbra? What are we talking about here?
Well, I'm sure you've heard about the December show.
The December show. No.
At Chuckles. Derek Seguin, Danbra's hosting.
Oh, right. Fucking Danbra's hosting. Jesus fucking Christ.
Chris Hovey's opening.
Nice. Congratulations. Good for you, man.
Yeah. It's good. And I've done Chuckles before, and I've done well.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit... I'll use an MMA
I want to get back...
analogy.
I want to talk to you about your Chuckles experience.
Sure. Well, I'll do an MMA analogy.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
It's like if you were a fighter and you're doing okay, right? You're winning against some local guys.
Yes.
And you take out a low-level pro guy, and then they're like, you know what? You're doing great. We got a new opponent for you. Brock, why don't you put down that Hyundai and come talk to the man? Oh. And that's, it feels like a very big show. It's,
Yeah.
It's a lot to stand with those guys.
Absolutely.
But I have time to prepare.
You're gonna be just fucking fine, man. You're gonna
Hopefully.
be. You know what the great thing is? Danbra's hosting, right? Now it's kind of a double-edged sword. So first of all, you're coming out to a hot mic, right? A hot room, absolutely. The only thing is with Danbra hosting, the strongest thing you can do in comedy, I believe, is crowd work. If you can do it well, really fucking well, it's the strongest. It's one of the hardest things to follow. That's going to be the only trick.
It is
following
because the audience is going to be hungry for. I don't know. You get a feeling of it. It's our show now.
Yeah, we're together
because
we're part of the show.
Are having fun. We're doing. It's a back and forth now.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a shout out or two. I'm sure.
I think
people.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they're already geared in that way, right? They're already geared in to participate.
That barrier's been broken down.
I think what you need to do, if I could offer you a small piece of advice,
yeah, no, please.
When you get up there, don't just shoot right into the material. Say hello to the room, right? Look around the room, say hello, engage them a little bit.
I like
Make
that.
them feel like you're, we're together in this too with me as well.
Right.
Obviously, you're not going to do crowd work.
Well, that's the
unless
problem.
it comes up
here
right?
and there, but to go up and
don't just rifle, because I've made that mistake working with Danbra, rifling right into it and going, why are these guys so disconnected? Get out there, connect with them a little bit, and
give
then
them a little something,
and then ease into it.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to.
It's just from experience, right? Because I've been eaten up at the start of my set, on a Danbra show.
I'm not going to go up and do full crowd work because I don't do crowd work for one, but also to try to follow one of the best with the same thing.
Well, you don't do it.
It's just not going to. It's not going to play well, right?
No, exactly. But here's the thing: at the level you're at, and even at the level I'm at, we shouldn't be doing crowd work. Like I do crowd work when it comes up.
Of course,
right? When something happens in the room, or if I see someone goofy and something comes in my head. I've done lots of crowd work, but doing an entire set of crowd work, man, you got to be super fucking experienced to pull something like that.
Yeah, no, you have to spend so much time doing prepared material.
Yeah,
and be so comfortable on stage that your brain can just.
Yeah, now Danbra
come up with stuff on the spot.
Danbra's a fucking unicorn because he started that way.
That's insane.
That's crazy
wild.
Thing. Yeah,
that is wild.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, man. That's a huge fucking
Thank
booking.
You. It's big, but it hangs over me a little bit. It definitely feels.
Yeah, but you
I
man,
feel the weight of it.
How was your last? Well, tell me about your last set of Chuckles.
Well, last set of Chuckles was myself. Regina did a couple guest spots, which was a new thing I think Shane's been playing with that I really like because it gives people a chance to get on that stage without them taking the risk of having them as an actual opener, right?
And well, not only that, it's less time,
right?
So if it doesn't go well, if you're super nervous, it's over quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and of course she killed it.
Yeah,
right? She slaughtered it.
Yeah, crowds love Regina.
Great comic.
Yeah,
she took off to Ontario without really mentioning it to anybody.
No kidding.
I recently learned.
Yeah. What do you mean? She's just gone?
She went to school.
You're fucking kidding me.
Back to school, Ontario.
Just gone. Well, I hope she continues to pursue comedy out there.
She's in a great spot for it.
Yeah,
and she
has potential.
She's strong enough to duke it out with the open micers out there. Just the same.
I think so too.
She did with comics here.
Yeah. Wow, that's fucking depressing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's hard to lose a strong comic, especially a strong
female comic.
Diverse comic, right? Female comic.
Yeah. Diverse, I like that.
Minority comic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're just left with Arif and
shit. Okay, so Regina did a guest spot.
Yep. Martin Saunier middled.
Oh, nice. Marty D.
Marty D. Glenn Camo hosted.
Oh, beautiful.
And then Tim Nutt was the headliner.
Oh, nice. That's a great fucking show,
Yeah, it
dude.
is. And I knew of Tim.
Yes.
Because I'd seen him on the odd Just for Laughs appearance. And that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
man. He's a Canadian staple.
He really is.
Yeah.
And, just a true working comic. Mm-hmm. He's somewhere every weekend, And the nice thing, the thing I liked about Tim was when I saw him at Chuckles, the material was entirely different than the stuff I had seen.
Oh, you didn't know any of the
before.
material.
I didn't
That's
know any of the
beautiful.
material.
That's beautiful.
And-
Because it's happened before when they get guys that have been around the scene for a long time and they're doing the same shit you saw in a video from 6 years ago.
Mark,
You know?
there was a comic, and I won't use his name.
Oh, let's use his name. This is the Spludecast.
But Ron Jossel, Filipino guy originally from, I think, the Ontario area.
Right. Filipino
maybe
guy
DC.
named Ron.
Ron Jossel.
First of all, that's a little weird.
I mean, I think he was born in Canada.
Right,
but anyhow.
Yeah. Still weird.
And he used to be on Video on Trial.
Okay.
The Much TV show
Right.
so they just riffed on music videos.
Sure.
And I watched it because I was 13.
What do they do? They play the video and roast it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
And they've
right.
had the roast ahead of time, but they play the video kind of along. And
Yeah, right.
he did it, and Nikki Payne used to do it fairly often.
Right.
Just a rotating cast of kind of
Comics, really.
Canadian comics.
Yeah. Okay.
Couple kind of low-level actors. And
So
stuff,
what did he
but not
suck? Or
comics.
what's
No, it was great.
Right.
And then I found that he had a Comedy Network used to do 30-minute specials.
Yes.
Comedy Now.
Comedy Now. Yeah.
He had a Comedy Now special.
I would never do one of those specials.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then he was coming to Yuck Yuck's here.
Right.
I thought, well, shit, that's great. Like, that's a name I know.
Yeah.
I used to like him a lot. I'll check him out.
Right.
He closed out that show with material from his Comedy Now special.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And that was...
But that's what Yucks...
That was heartbreaking for
That's what
me.
they want, man. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be consistent and do that stuff that they know that
consistency
works.
is important, I suppose.
Yeah.
But to go and see Tim and see that he did new stuff and stuff that felt like he had written it recently,
Yeah.
it seemed there weren't dated references or anything. And I listened to a couple of his albums. There was nothing from those.
Beautiful.
He had really written.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
changed up material between shows.
Oh, from
had-
Friday to Saturday?
Yeah,
I
he'd
love
taken
that,
probably
man.
20 minutes and changed it out.
That's great. Because you know what that means, man? That means that he was sitting in his hotel room on Saturday thinking about what he was doing on stage that night. And for somebody who's been in it as long as Tim and is already comfortable, and I mean, hey, he's already received his money from Shane and Julie by that time. He doesn't have to do anything. I'm sure he did great the Friday night.
I did the
right?
same material both
Did-
nights.
yeah, but did
everyone was expected
Did
to.
he do great Friday night?
He did great Friday night.
Right? So there's no reason to do that. That just shows you the work he's fucking putting into it. And that warms my heart, man, to see, a comedy veteran like that in this country still working hard at it. I love that, man. That's a great story.
So Friday night, I went out. It was a good crowd. I could
Yes.
tell already from how Regina did and how they were dealing with Glenn.
Yeah.
And
Glenn's a good host.
Glenn's a great host.
Yeah.
Like a 9 out of 10 show. Like just really, it
Yeah.
was strong. The laughs were good. I felt good.
How was the
Really
crowd
good
for the
show.
Friday night?
Crowd was great.
Yeah, no, what was the turnout?
Oh, sorry. I don't quite think they sold it out,
yeah,
but
like 3/4 full or
pretty
something.
close.
Yeah, that's good for a Friday night at
Three-quarter or
Chuckles,
better.
man.
It was strong.
That's good.
It was May, so I think it was kind of shoulder season.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. And then Saturday, I mean, it was more of the same. I went out and it wasn't quite as good. The crowd was a little bit colder for some reason.
Better Friday than Saturday. Yeah, man,
Better Friday than Saturday.
Get used to that, man. Because Chuckles is typically that way. One night is fire. One night is okay or maybe terrible.
Well, and there were things that they specifically didn't care for.
Yeah.
So like Glenn went out and did some penis material.
Right.
Some
Dick
jokes. Some jokes about
Yeah.
his phallus.
Right.
And they didn't care for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was fine for me because I didn't really. I have one. I had riffed on something. Actually, I think it was Maggie. I'd gone up after Maggie at a show somewhere, and she had a joke about looking up pictures of old man penises because she's decided that the gentleman she's with is the one she's going to continue to be with.
Right.
She was curious as to what the penis would age into.
Oh.
And then I had a joke that said, I'm very concerned.
I like that
It's a great
idea.
bit.
Yeah,
it's a great premise.
yeah, yeah.
So I went up and I said,
That's
I'm already
That's actually
concerned.
a fucking
That's
hilarious premise.
right? Yeah.
It really
great.
is. Good for her.
Anyways, so I went up and said, well, now I'm concerned because my dick already looks like it smokes a pack a day. Anyway, so Glenn had a joke about having gray pubic hairs.
Right.
So I was able to use the same riff again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, nice.
And it killed on the Friday.
Yeah.
And then he did the gray pubic hair joke on the Saturday, and it didn't get the
Right
response.
up. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I just cut it out.
Oh, you turfed it.
Yeah, I turfed it. I just read the crowd a little bit and kind of turfed it. But aside from
Nice.
that, it was still a good show. It
Yeah.
still went really well. And, I mean, it's so chuckles,
weird,
man.
Yeah.
It's an awesome.
It's so fucking weird.
place
Oh,
to
it's
do.
a fucking awesome place. But yeah, man, the Friday night that I just did last weekend or weekend before, no, I think it was last weekend. The Friday night was so stingy, like so stingy, man. Like the host got up nothing. Dan Terrio got up almost nothing.
Really?
Man, it was and I fought tooth and fucking nail for the laughs I got. Tooth and nail. It was crazy. Now, Damon Schritter, the main event that night, he did great.
That's the difference, though, Mark.
He did fucking great.
It's genuinely the difference is they're able to pull it out.
But, well, there's,
Usually.
it helped them that I did really well at the end of my
Sure.
set.
Yeah, it would.
It was, but man, they did not come to laugh.
Amazing.
And Chuckles can be like that, man. It can be stingy. I have never bombed at Chuckles. Fucking knock on wood. Never bombed there. But I've had sets like I had that Friday night where it's like, I'll fight. But then I got my laughs where I wanted them. And I closed it strong, which was nice. But yeah, man, it can be fucking tough. Yeah. One of those nights. You're almost guaranteed one night of fire there where it's going to be fucking great. So I was almost I was almost happy that it happened Friday because I was like, okay, now I can just settle into fucking Saturday. I know what it's going to be. I mean, there were only, there weren't many people there Friday night. It was very, very thin crowd. And that, you know what it's like, right? With a thin crowd, if there's somebody there who's self-conscious about laughing, right? You can't get that fucking energy going.
I did a local talent showcase in July, I want to say, at the Yucks.
Yes.
About a dozen people showed up. But I was really excited because Mike Wilmot was in town, and he wanted to jump on at the end of it.
Fuck yeah.
Just new material. So
I guessed it for him last time he was in town.
Fuck, I'll meet Mike. Right?
Yeah.
Amazing guy, by the way. We'll get more to that. But
Yes.
there were a dozen people, and they were not there. Same thing. They were not there to laugh. And it feels, that's a big room.
Yeah.
And with that few people, it feels, because, I've been in a crowd that small there.
Yeah.
It feels like you're very much alone.
Yeah.
And like every laugh, because when you're in a crowd and everyone's laughing, you're not thinking about, but you're alone. What if I laugh? What if I'm the only one to laugh? What if they point at me?
At a lot of those shows, I'm the only guy fucking laughing.
A lot of self-consciousness creeps in on people.
Yeah, big time.
So I mean, everyone went out to just a smattering of a little bit of laughter here, and he went out and found a way to kill the room.
Oh, it's Mike Wilmot, man. He's a fucking killer. So you met him. So I'm just going to guess how this went. You went back to the green room and Mike Wilmot's back there?
Yep.
You introduced yourself?
Yes.
And then he talks to you for 45 minutes?
Correct.
And you say nothing?
Correct. And the most insane stories.
Yes, crazy.
I'm a big Ron White fan.
Right.
And he said something about, and he also does the definitive Ron White impression.
Yeah.
It helps that they sound something alike as it is, but
they sound similar.
He throws the drawl on.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I said, I really love Ron White. I've been watching him since I was younger.
Right.
And he launches into a story. It was him and Ron White and somebody else in a cabin somewhere in Montana with a grocery bag full of mushrooms and a garbage bag full of videotapes or some such nonsense. Like, just watch, and I'm like, holy shit, man! Like,
yeah. He is an entertaining motherfucker, man.
Really entertaining.
But you're not going to say much when you're talking to Mike.
He killed me, though. Because I went out, and I'm like, you want to do well in front of anybody who's anybody, right?
Yeah.
So
But especially Mike Wilmot.
And it's okay. Like, it's not great. Like I say, it's 12 people, and that from the back, all you hear is what comes through the mic, right?
Yeah.
So the laughs weren't making it to the mic. And I go back, and he's sitting on the couch, and he goes, well, kid, you sound like a comic. Kill me. Like, that's,
Yeah. Wilmot's fucking great.
Not great stuff, not great, but like my cadence sounded something like what a comic should, so that's something.
That's something to glom onto.
Keep writing. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and you wish, you sit there when that happens, you wish, fuck, if he could only see me in a full room.
Well, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he understands
what it
that.
is, right?
He understands that too,
course.
man. He's been down that road a fucking million times. What a great guy.
Yeah. And you say it and I say it. You can't, I try not to blame the crowd.
Yeah, man.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because in most cases, I believe it's not the crowd's fault.
You got to find a way.
But that was one where, I mean, I've done that material in front of different crowds, and it went much better. But like I said, I mean, he came out and found a way to to multiply that crowd by 10, right? Like,
Yeah.
he really made it feel like something.
Yeah. Well, he gets a little more grace, right? Because he closed it out.
It's true.
Right? He closed it out. People know he's from out of town. They know he's there as the pro comic. So he does get a little more grace, but it's experience, man. It's experience, right?
Yep.
And you started like I did, a hot rookie. But you still need that experience to get through shit like that.
He's been doing it longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't expect the same response.
Yeah,
right?
obviously
It's
you're
a
not going to
very
be.
different-
Yeah, you and I are not on par with Mike fucking Wilmot. That's for goddamn sure.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's easy to think that way sometimes when you go out. Like I'm sure at the art center, you came off that stage going fucking right, man.
Yeah,
That,
great. Yes.
Pat yourself on the back, but then you realize when you work with a guy like that, it makes you like. I realized that when I started working with Danbra, there are levels to this fucking shit.
100%.
And you can sit at home and go, oh no, I got it all figured out, and this is my voice and this great material. But until you work with legends like that, you don't really figure out that there's levels to it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even locally, I mean, there's tiers, right? There's
of
people
course.
that do open mics and the odd show here, there, and they're learning and they're getting, and there's people that are doing 15-minute sets pretty steady, and then there's guys like yourself and Shane and even Arif that are doing 30 to 45 minutes fairly regularly, right?
Yeah,
Close
I'm
night
not
shows
sure
and
if
stuff.
Arif is doing that
I
kind
was
of.
digging for a third name.
Yeah,
I was just digging for a third name.
Well, and that's why I mentioned to you earlier. There's not a ton of comics at the top here. There's just not. The thing is here, if you're not presenting new material and you're not consistent, and by the way, you check off both boxes.
I do my best too. I would like to write a little more frequently than I have been lately.
Yeah, but I've never seen you repeat material ad nauseum.
It waxes and wanes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
Of course, it
writing
speaks
like
in
a
valleys.
demon, and sometimes I can't get a new joke out of me to save my life.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll revisit something like, so I did the show in September. So for some reason, July and August, I came up with another 3 or 4 minutes on the same moped stuff that I had done a year ago.
Yeah.
Like just
that happens
new
quite a bit when you're
stuff
preparing
to
for a
mix
long
into it.
set.
Yep.
You're going to find this more and more because you're a guy that's going to get invited to do. And this is what
Hopefully.
this is what I'm saying about the scene. There's not a lot of people at the top. Excuse me, who can be consistent and be consistent presenting new material often. There's very few people around here like this that get invited to do longer sets for money, right? It's a short list. But you will find that the more you get invited to do that, you have to dig into older stuff.
Oh, yeah,
you have no choice, right?
For sure.
But when my experience is anytime I dig into that, older stuff, I always find new shit for it.
Absolutely.
Which almost makes it, when you're performing it, you're doing new material,
exciting,
right?
yeah.
It's the same thing again, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got to step out a little bit with that new material because I found a way to work the word faggot twice into my moped bit.
Excellent.
Which is great. Really fun.
Excellent,
And it
yeah.
again, it's something that I wouldn't normally, but it fit.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't in an offensive context,
Yeah.
really. And it ended up being fun. I had fun. The audience had fun, right? Like it worked out. So yeah, like you come back to it with experience and with kind of a new angle and
Yeah. And you'll find that more and more. Like I said, like, you check off those boxes. You're consistent and you do a lot of new material.
I try to.
Yeah. So you will be, I'm sure it's going to happen very soon where you're going to be invited to do, longer sets and for fucking money. Right. So, I know you want to move away from that material, but, you don't write anything off because
Oh, no.
Eventually, right, you're going to
stuff
have
I've
to deep
written
into
most
that.
recently is still kind of on the table.
Yeah.
If I need it. Because like I say, if you're being asked to do 15 minutes regularly, it's hard to continue to write, not just write that volume, but write that volume at the quality required to keep up to what you've been doing.
That's right. That's the
Right?
trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trick. And that's what I've always struggled with. It's like, I know I can write new material, but is it going to be as good as the You're Good bit? Is it going to
that's
be
the
as good
balance.
as the chicken bit? You know what I mean?
That's the balance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you never know, there might be another chicken bit in there.
Yeah.
But if you don't go digging for it, you're not going to find it.
That's right. And that's
And
what
then
I
what,
keep.
Are you going to be the tattooed chicken guy?
Exactly.
don't
And
wanna
that's
get
exactly
stuck
what
in the
I
corner
keep,
either.
why I keep preaching to young comics. And when I say young comics, I mean young in the game.
Yeah.
I keep preaching, write and present new material. You get better. You get better. There is something better than You're Good. There is something better than that chicken.
absolutely.
Because you're better today. Keep
Right.
fucking doing it and find out what that is, You know what the funny thing is, man? I'm more excited right now to write material than I am to perform it. Yeah, I'm in a weird spot, man. I also, there's a recent fucking, I don't want to say beef going on, but you know, there's a recent thing that's gone on where I've got a fucking problem with somebody now, and it's just making me want to pull away a little bit more. But anyways, enough of that fucking negative shit. You watched the UFC Saturday night.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't know you were a fan, first of all.
I'm a fan.
Casual fan.
Yeah, casual. Yeah. Maybe a little more.
More than
serious.
casual?
Well, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I don't watch every fight.
Yeah.
I'd like to, but
It's a lot of fights.
I forget they're on.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when they're on, we're doing comedy, aren't we?
Right. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. This one lined up. It just ended up being a guys' night. We went out. We played poker. Ordered the fights.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean,
First of all,
the fight will be remembered.
yes,
the big one.
Oh, it absolutely will be Conor versus Nurmi.
But it would have if it hadn't. It's going to be remembered for bad reasons now.
Yeah.
When it would have been remembered as Khabib taking out Conor at his hottest.
Yeah,
Like at his most.
at his peak.
I mean, yeah, at
Yeah.
his peak. If not, I mean, I imagine at his physical peak. But if not at his physical peak, at least his peak of popularity.
Yeah,
But probably realistically, probably both.
yeah,
And
yeah. I think they match up anyway.
They
But
match up
I want to ask you, as you know, I guess you're not a casual fan, because the casual fan is someone who tunes in for Conor, who tunes in for Brock, who tunes in for Ronda. You're a higher tier than that. But as someone who doesn't watch it, you know, religiously like I do, what did you think of what went down after that fight? Nurmagomedov jumps over the fucking cage, attacks someone from Conor's corner who was kind of not in the crowd, but outside of the octagon. And then a couple people jumped over the cage, into the cage, and sucker punch Conor. How did you view that as a?
It's absolute horseshit.
Yeah.
It's what everyone was afraid of when the sport started to get popular.
Yes.
It's everything
Good point.
Dana promised would not happen, and for a very long time did not happen.
Right.
And after seeing champs, I mean, GSP is the top tier example, right? He was a handshaker. He was, very. Well, it was about the fight.
Yeah, he's the most respectful athlete in the UFC. No,
Absolutely.
no
Absolutely.
fucking question.
But even
about
everybody
it.
else held
Yeah.
their shit together.
Yeah.
Enough,
For
right?
sure.
And I get it. Connor's an inflammatory character. What impressed me originally before the fight even happened was at the weigh-ins. Conor kind of took a lunge for Khabib and slapped his arm down, and he did not flinch
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
He stood his ground,
he did.
which made me think, well, shit, at least this guy's not afraid of him.
Yeah,
It's going to be
I think Conor got into his head.
Oh, for
I think he
sure,
did
but he
win
didn't
mentally.
show it at the time.
Yeah.
Right? He was able to...
I think there's ice running through Nurmi's fucking veins. I think he did get to him a little bit mentally. You're not going to get to that guy physically. You're not going to physically intimidate that fucking guy. Not for a second. I can't stand him. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan?
Not a fan. For whatever reason. It just seems whoever he's pitted against, I love. Right? Like he was signed up to fight Ferguson 4 times. I'm a huge Tony Ferguson fan. So just his matchups, I always liked the other guy better. And he trains at American Kickboxing Academy, and I hate that fucking club.
Oh, really?
I hate
Okay.
it, man. Because they're pullout merchants, man. They have more fucking injuries, and they whine about shit. I fucking hate that camp. So in turn, I kind of dislike him a little bit. Although he did make a fan of me Saturday night. Not after the fight.
No, but I mean...
during the
he
fight...
put up a hell... I mean...
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, he tooled Conor. But where he really made me a fan, I think it was in the 3rd round, where they met in the middle and just traded fucking shots.
Yeah.
And Nurmi stood in there and said, I'm not even shooting for a takedown. You want to throw strikes?
Right.
Let's fucking do it. And he held his own
Yeah.
against a monster.
An insane striker.
Right? Striker, as a striker, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
He made me a fan there.
I mean, I very much respect his game, but it just... The thing is...
It was ugly.
That sort of thing... I mean, and everyone's making this comparison. It's not a new idea, but that sort of thing happens in the WWE because it's scripted and it's supposed to, and everyone's in on it and it's safe.
And the fans all know it, right?
Right.
So it's not like it's going to
Absolutely.
incite a riot inside the building.
These are real emotions. It's real violence. It's not okay anymore, right? Like it's... And all he had to do was keep his shit together long enough. Like, all he had to do was stay inside the ring.
Yeah.
And he would have been, like I say, known as the guy who took down Conor at his prime. He would have had his belt.
Yeah.
He would have been...
Dana would have put the belt on him.
Right. Would have
Yeah.
been touted as a champ.
Yeah.
But instead, he gets, drug out of the crowd and back into the octagon, and I don't think they brought his belt out to him, did they?
No. He never did get
And
the belt.
now everyone's speculating over, I don't know, you might have heard something, but everyone's speculating over what's going to happen, whether they'll strip it or let him keep it, or if
I think
there's any money being paid or if there's fines or what, like
I think what's going to happen now. Listen, I have very strong opinions about it, but everyone's going to have to tune into the Scrapcast to hear the real breakdown of it. But what I think is going to happen, I think the Nevada State Athletic Commission is going to slap him with a major suspension. I believe it's going to be 12 months, maybe more.
Really?
And I think if it's 12 months, I mean, if you're suspended by Nevada State Athletic Commission, you're essentially suspended from fighting. Right? Because all those other people, at least in the United States, all those other commissions will uphold that suspension.
Okay.
So
it's respected well enough that...
Yeah. So chances are, if he gets hit with a suspension like that, and I believe it's going to be 12 months, maybe more, he's not going to be fighting for that period of time. I think Dana's going to strip him, and I think Connor's going to fight Ferguson. And I think that's a bad night for Connor, too.
Yeah, you think he's got it?
I do. Yeah. I love Connor, man. I absolutely love Connor. But Ferguson is a nightmare matchup because he's very good on the feet. He can take a strong punch, and he's a wicked submission master. And that seems to be Connor's kryptonite. He is willing to fucking tap.
How long has Connor been at the top of that weight class?
Well, he's not at the top now. But it hasn't really been that long. He cut his teeth in the 145-pound division, took the title there, and then decided to move up.
That's right, I remember that.
And really, the only fight he's had at that weight is against Eddie Alvarez.
That's right.
Now, before he made his stop at that weight, he jumped up 2 weight classes to fight Nate at 170 twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And that turned out to be a lot for him.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's so wildly popular now. Right. You know, Diaz already had a bit of a name. So did Connor. But them coming together, the lead up to those 2 fights, particularly the rematch, made him a fucking megastar. Nate Diaz, too.
But you're talking 25 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I don't care if Connor probably walks around at 170. Well, maybe not that much.
Well, he didn't even weigh 170 for those fights.
Oh, really?
I think for both of those weigh-ins, he was 168. So he's not a large guy.
No.
Yeah.
He probably runs around 165.
But that was only his second fight at 155.
Okay.
Yeah. He fought Eddie for the title, knocked him out, and then he fought Floyd. And then he returned against Nerman.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about him, at 170, it's like strapping 25 pounds to you and asking you to do anything, to fight.
To fight a great big
giant
guy.
I'm sure he trained at that level, but still, it's,
Yeah.
Nate's dieted down to that weight.
Yeah. And Nate's a fucking killer.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Just 1 sec. I got to hit pause here. So I don't want to, I know you watched you told me you watched the Black Beast fight too.
Yes.
Versus Drago. I don't want to talk too much about UFC, but one thing you did mention is that you were at a poker game watching the fights. You play poker often? You play in Texas Hold'em, obviously?
Texas Hold'em,
yeah.
We try to do it every 2 weeks.
No shit.
Over the wintertime, it ends up being about that, but over the summer, it fades off a little bit.
Dude, like how does Spludesy get into that fucking game?
Well, put in a word for you, bud.
Yeah?
Should be a problem. Yeah, people bring people all the time.
Oh, shit, dude. Yeah. I would love that one time.
Yeah, sure.
Try it out.
Absolutely.
I love poker. I love Texas Hold'em.
It's a great time.
I've only played it like 6-7 times.
Okay.
I always do well.
Yeah.
Not I don't always win, but
we're not pros either.
Yeah. I just
one
love
Asian
the
guy
game.
shows up and takes their money every week. So it's not.
Oh, really? Oh, see, now you got to get me there.
No, he plays the dirty game, right? Because the guy that normally hosts lives out past Baxter's Corner. Raleigh, I think it's called.
Right.
Anyways, so this guy, he plays the same game every time. I'll drive everybody out.
Yeah.
So we all get in the car, right? We've all got booze with us.
Right.
He takes us out. He sits and sips on Diet Pepsi.
You guys all drink.
We drink.
It's guys' night.
He takes all the money and drives us back home.
So he's got it all figured out.
Although, you know what? The price to play is about the same. It's probably less actually than a cab there and back anyway. So
yeah, so
it works
who's
out,
fooling
right?
who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Increasing blinds?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Increasing blinds, yeah. And the buy-in's $20. It's just a good time, right? We sit around, we hang out, we bullshit.
Can you buy back in?
Yeah. For a time. We do limit it.
Yes.
Because
you want an end to the game.
They go late as it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You start at 8 or 9 and they go late as it is.
I'd like to talk to you about maybe trying that one weekend. I fucking love it, man. I haven't played in probably 2 years. And that time I was winning. I was the big stack bully. And my wife wanted to go home. And we were playing like you couldn't cash out. Winner take all.
Yeah, we normally do. Well, I had to typically
to
toward the end, if it's getting late, the last 2 or 3 guys will make a bit of a deal.
Yeah.
They'll split it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
People bring people all the time.
I love playing poker, man. I don't know if you listened to my very first podcast that I ever did, Spludecast.
I don't think I've listened back that
So
far.
Trevor Muxworthy is on it, and he was playing poker pretty much professionally. for a little while. If you're interested in poker, it's worth a listen.
Yeah, for sure.
And I tell a very cool story on that podcast too about doing crack when I was 16 years old. So
Related, I'm sure. Doing crack.
I think my parents were related. I don't know if it's
Unreal.
anyway. So we have a refinery in the city.
We do.
Not only can we brag that we have the second largest refinery in North America. You can imagine how many refineries are in Texas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have the second biggest. And
right.
not only that, we're lucky enough to have it right in the fucking city.
Right there. I mean, to be fair, there was nothing out there when they built it. I mean,
I guess, yeah.
the residential areas and stuff have grown up around it.
Right. But maybe just, for the sake of maybe St. John's going to fucking boom, maybe we put it 30 clicks out of the city.
I don't know what you can do about it now. It's
Yeah.
can't
It's
just
crazy.
jack it up and move it down the street, right?
No, certainly not now. Something happened there today.
There was an incident.
You're working in there.
I was working today, yeah.
Talk to me. What happened in there? Because I was hearing it. I was up in Cambridge Narrows.
Okay.
And I was getting messages from people, places are being evacuated. There's an explosion at the refinery. What the fuck happened?
Well, I'll tell you as mumuch as I feel comfortable, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because,
Please. Oh, no. It's,
But,
man. You got to protect yourself.
So, off the top, I don't know. I've heard a lot of rumors about fatalities and injuries. I don't know those numbers.
Right. Have there
Official,
been fatalities? Were there
the
fatalities?
most official source I heard from, which is still not that official,
Right.
was no fatalities.
Oh, good.
But some injuries.
Some serious injuries.
Which,
yeah.
given the scale of the situation, I mean, certainly not
Pretty
ideal.
fortunate.
But if it's got to happen, it's not a bad way to come out of it.
Yeah. Was there an explosion? Was
So
it
the
a
big
fire?
thing is it's a turnaround right now.
Yeah. So there are way more fucking people in there.
Way more people in there, and
So
normally
a
there wouldn't-
turnaround, a shutdown, whatever that.
Whatever
What they're
terminology
doing
you
is preventative maintenance they've been putting
a
off.
large section of the refinery shut down.
And that's when they bring in all the tradesmen and
Yep.
stuff, and they're the refinery gets fucking overpopulated.
Right.
Yeah.
So today, normally we wouldn't work a statutory holiday, but we were in today.
Yeah. Shut down.
And I'm working on it. Now I'm not a field guy. I'm engineering adjacent, I would say.
Right.
So I was in the office, and
Now, was your office a blast can, or are you in a building?
I'm in a building.
Right. Okay. Because
in a
I've
building.
I've turned a lot of those blast cans into offices when I worked in there.
Building by name only, mind
Right.
you.
Okay, yeah.
They were put up, I think, as temporary at one point.
Okay.
But they've sort of become.
They become permanent.
renovated
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's fine,
that happens
but
pretty frequently there.
It does.
Yeah.
We were sitting there, and it was whatever. It was 10:30 or so, and big boom, and the whole thing shook. And I mean,
The ground shook.
The ground shook.
Motherfucker.
The ground shook.
Yeah.
The building shook. Stuff fell off shelves. It was.
What
and
do
the
you do?
problem
Run for a
is-
blast can right away?
Well, my problem is I immediately went into, my brain wanted to, okay, we need to find a way to defend ourselves against what's happening.
Sure.
But there isn't one
Yeah.
from something like that.
Right.
Not that I was in danger. I was far enough away that we were fine. And also,
Right.
if you've heard the explosion, you've survived the explosion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a pretty good fucking point. Yeah.
But we didn't. The big question is what's next, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know. Looked outside, a lot of flame, a lot of black smoke.
Right.
And they took us. We have what's called a muster station, which is where you would go if your building were to be on fire.
Yep.
They count you, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So
It's like a meeting area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Problem
head
is, that was outside,
Yeah.
which was the
Not
same
a safe
general
place
area.
to be.
Well,
Right.
and we where we were, we could see it. There wasn't anything really between us, and it was about a click out, but still, it was kind of right there.
Yeah.
And we were standing around, and there was a second smaller explosion. So there was a big
Jesus Christ.
shot of sparks, and
Right.
that one was really loud. And that was it for your boy. I was out the gate and in the truck and down the road,
Yes.
and that was that.
Out gate 8. See you later.
Out gate 8, see you later. Now, I don't know if I should have done that when I did that.
Right.
I found out from someone else that works in the building that they sent people, at least the guys in our building were sent home shortly after that.
Right.
But I just bolted.
Yeah,
I didn't really. I took a panic and.
Well, you like
took
to
off.
breathe, don't you?
I mean,
Hey, life is. It's all right.
you know, it was the unknown that was scary.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have a great response team.
Yeah.
They get in there. They the issue, of course, is you shut off the pipe and it's still in the pipe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has to burn out to an extent.
Right.
But they got it out, and
That's a lot scarier than what happened. So
it is what it is.
Oh, go ahead.
You worry about the potential, right?
Sure.
I mean,
well, the potential is death.
yeah.
Yeah. For a lot of people in this fucking
and I mean,
city.
you try not to be dramatic about it, right? But
But it's fucking serious, man.
There's
It's an oil refinery.
Right.
That fucking thing goes, we're all in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, the
So
fallout's
I did take the coward's way out, but
good for you.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
I had
know-
a similar experience working in there. Carry on.
okay, well, I was just gonna say we do have I mean, there's a lot of safety precautions in place.
Oh fuck! I mean, it's
and
the
there's a lot of-
refinery. It's
it
all
is,
safety.
and a lot of people complain about them. A lot of the trades guys complain about them because they say, you know, it impedes work or whatever. That's just that if I didn't have to, whatever, wear the safety equipment or
Right, but you're in the refinery, dummy.
well, yeah, they don't want injuries. They don't want small injuries. They don't want big injuries. They don't want these incidents.
Yeah.
And
Everything's pretty much on the cutting edge of health and safety in this fucking province, and they have to be.
and they
right?
because they don't want a reputation of it being a dangerous place to work. And by and large, it's not.
Yeah, I mean they're already fucking us over with the air quality and stuff. Like at least they can protect the people who are working in there. You know, I say that kind of in a joke, but really it's also fucking true.
What I've heard a few times, and I like it, is they say it should be no more dangerous to work there than it is driving to work.
Right.
Which I think is pretty fair.
Yeah.
And like I say, we do everything we can. And I mean, what happened, but the way it was handled resulted in everybody getting out safe. And
Yeah. How are you feeling about it? Like how
I'm okay now. I was shaking
because
for
you got to
a
go
while.
back there tomorrow, right?
I was shaking for a while.
Yeah, I imagine.
And I haven't thought about that part of the equation because you're right. I will have to walk back in there, but I think I'll probably be all right.
Yeah. The frequency of that kind of thing happening there is, it's pretty rare.
It is pretty rare.
However, when I was working in there in 2012, I shouldn't say a similar thing happened. A fucking loud boom happened. And it was an explosion, but it was a pressure explosion.
That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't flame and fire
That
and
was
shit.
the Drummond 126 plant.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
They blew
And
pop off.
so, our safety training, anything goes down like that, you get to the nearest blast can. Like there are these blast cans, which are basically sea cans.
Yep.
Where you are supposed to rush to. And if there is an explosion or something like that, the idea is, you might get airborne for a little while, but you might survive if
a
you get
whole,
to this
yeah.
blast can. Certainly, you're going to do a lot better in there
of course.
than you would outside of it. So that pressure explosion happened. We all rushed to the blast can. It was a crazy fucking day, man. It was a crazy day. Of course, my wife was texting me crazy, but you got to have your phone off in there. Right? You can't have your phone on in the refinery because of the sparks and everything else.
So I was in the building.
Right.
So my phone was
On.
it's fair game when you're
Yeah,
in the building.
that's right.
And I took it with me. And I also grabbed my keys and my wallet at my desk.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if I was going to
Come
make it
back?
back in or not.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I didn't.
Right. You never made it back to your post
I never went back into the
Right.
office. I left from where we were standing
from the
outside,
muster station.
again, with a swiftness.
Yeah.
But
Dude, that was a great fucking
Thank you.
save, first
Thank
of
you.
all. That beer almost went
Almost.
over the table.
Yeah.
That was a great save.
but the guys in the units, which were most of the people working,
Right.
are not allowed to have your phone.
Yeah.
And if it is on you, it sure as shit can't be on.
That's right.
So there's a friend of mine who had sent me a message on Facebook and said, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Are you alive?
And she's like, well, my stepdad's working in there, and we haven't heard from him yet.
Right.
It's like, well, shit, because I can just imagine because I mean, there's a really good chance that he's fine, but what if?
If you have a loved one working in the refinery and you hear an explosion, right away.
And people are saying that there's fatalities, people are saying that there's injuries.
Right.
I mean, if somebody gets hurt, it has to be somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a really good chance it's not your loved one, but it's
right. But
somebody.
it could fucking be because he's there.
And and what I said, and what ended up being the case, I said he probably doesn't have his phone on him, and he can't get back to where it is because they weren't letting people back through the gate.
Right.
And it turned out that someone gave him a
was
ride
fine.
home, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But I am glad that I was able to kind of grab my shit and
Get the fuck out of there.
But then it was phone calls. It was like you say, it's phone calls, it's text, everything else.
Yeah.
And my parents are on vacation in Ontario right now, and they found out because someone from home had posted something on Facebook.
Right.
So they didn't even hear it from me. They heard it from.
That's why you were texting on.
That's why I was texting mom because she was like, because she's still a little shook. She's like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" And
Yeah.
I didn't tell her I was with Mark Splude. She'd worry more than if. I
Oh,
was
what are you
fucking-
talking about? She'd be like, "Oh, he's safe now."
Bad influence.
He already knows how to survive an explosion at the
Yeah,
fucking
that's right.
refinery.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
I got the experience, dude.
But yeah, the scary bit was the fire and the potential for
Yeah.
something bigger. Right? But
Yeah. Especially the flames. You
yeah.
can see fucking flames when you're working in there. That's not a good fucking thing.
absolutely not.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing the story
sure.
a little bit. I know it's always sensitive, right? You can't say
It
too
is,
much
and,
about
you know,
work
I
on a
don't-
podcast, but
I'm not trying to paint the place in a bad light. Like I say, it's a dangerous place with
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on, and like I say, the way it was dealt with was top notch. I mean, they did everything they could for people.
I can't imagine people complaining about the safety there in the refinery. Because I got to be honest, when I worked there, I loved the safety procedures. I loved it because it meant that I only worked for about 2 hours a day. By the time you get all your fucking permits and all the safety stuff out of the way to do the fucking job you're doing, I mean that takes longer than to do the fucking job. I
In
remember
some
my
cases, yeah.
I remember my first job there. We were property management there.
Okay.
I worked for Talon at the time, who had the entire contract for the refinery and the East Terminal. So we were always out and about. You know, we never worked in our, quote unquote office. We were always out in the field, working in your building or everybody else's building.
Sure.
So my very first job assignment there, I had to install a fire extinguisher holder. Right.
Yes.
We're talking about 2 screws here.
Yeah. 2 screws.
It took me 3 hours to get the security clearance, the safety clearance for that. I had to drive there, look at the job, and fill out the fucking, the risk assessment fucking sheet, bring it back to my safety guy, the head of safety for my company. He'd have to go out, make his own report, add or subtract things that I put down there. Then I'd have to wait for him to come back and clear me for the fucking job, and then I could go do the job. And keep in mind, I have to drive there to do that. You can only do, what is it, 30 clicks?
30 clicks, yeah.
And then my safety guy has to, you know what I mean? I loved it because, I don't like to work too hard.
And you know what? That's an extreme example, right? I mean, you would have done that at home in 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. It's all I did was pre-drill 2 holes, put my anchors in there, and fucking 2 screws. Like it's,
and that's a job too where the potential injury.
Yeah,
Like if you
it's pretty
really
low.
fucked it up.
Yeah, the risk is
You
pretty
got an
low.
itchy on your finger, right? But and like I say, there's
points.
extreme examples. But
Yeah.
the guys that are out there hanging off the columns and stuff, it helps keep them.
Yeah, man. It fucking saves lives.
Yeah.
End of story.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shift gears. Have you been following this roast battle competition so far? Have you come out to the shows?
I came out to a couple.
Right.
I was out to one as a judge.
That's right.
Oh, the second one actually wasn't a roast battle. It was the regular show they did in the
Right.
meantime. So I guess I've just seen the one.
Just the one. Who
Followed
was,
along on social media, though.
Right.
Right.
Now, who do you think is the guy to watch in this one from what you've seen? Where you weren't there last time to see Travis.
No, but I did see Travis as
TJ.
As his TJ.
Right. When he was the manager for Godson.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I think he might be the guy. I was going to say that. I think he might be the guy. He's got a character, which is not necessary, but it helps. It certainly doesn't hurt. People love it. And I think writing for that character is helpful.
Yeah.
I think he's using a different voice, right?
He,
He's using a different part of his comedy brain.
Yeah.
He's writing a voice, and I think.
And you know what? It takes the handcuffs off, right?
Takes the handcuffs off.
Because no one's going to judge
didn't say
Travis.
that, of course.
It was TJ.
And he's framing himself as a WWE manager,
Yeah.
which is genius because now he can get away with saying basically whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And some people need a writing assignment sometimes.
Absolutely. Man, it can kick your ass into fucking gear. You know?
Well, we watched Dan Terrio get by Drake there.
Yeah.
That week.
Yeah.
And
Dan did fucking
Dan
great.
did great.
Yeah.
Dan did great. And
Yeah.
Dan struggles, he was telling me just Thursday that he struggles with writing new stuff. but he was given the assignment to write jokes targeted at Drake.
Yeah.
And he came through.
Yeah.
Right? And did a great job.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you take, you diverge off the path a little, and then when you come back on that path, it can fucking, you know what I mean? Give you a good shot in the arm.
And maybe aspects of this TJ business can work its way into Travis's regular stand-up.
Oh, I think it
maybe
should.
not that dramatically.
No, but I think just the confidence alone, the confidence
is
that
huge.
he's showing with this character, if he can carry that through to his, his regular shit that he's doing, oh man, he's going to be unstoppable. You would not believe the battle that between he and Dan McCarthy, returning champion, and he just got TJ knocked his dick into the fucking dirt. I mean, it was.
I am sorry I missed that because that
It
sounds
was a
like a really
slaughter.
hell of a show.
Oh my Jesus, man! I mean, he went from being Godsow's manager to being the main attraction show fucking stopper. It was crazy. It was crazy. Do you watch? Have you been a fan of pro wrestling? Did we talk about that last
really.
time?
No, we didn't.
I don't think so.
Not really. I had cousins that were really into it when I was a kid,
Right?
and I used to watch it with them.
Yeah, when you were over their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I leg swept my sister. And
And
she
you did
fractured
what?
her wrist. I leg swept my sister.
Right.
She fractured her wrist, so there was no more WWE for me. In our house.
Oh Jesus.
We talked about the cartoon debacle last time. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What about Big Mouth? Have you been watching that?
Finished season 2 today.
Did you? Okay, let's not get
did.
too crazy. I'm on episode 4.
Okay.
5. I think I finished episode 4 last night. I smoked a lot of weed. I don't really remember the end of the fucking night. Do you fuck with the weed? Do you smoke? Well, I know you're in the refinery. You're not fucking with any of that
right.
stuff. Yeah.
And even with the new laws, it's still not really.
Yeah. What are they gonna do there? So it's becoming legal in 9 days.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Essentially now instead of zero tolerance, there's a. The way they phrase it is there's an allowance for secondhand exposure.
What kind of shit?
So if I'm hanging out with you,
Right.
and you're blowing pot smoke in my face,
Yeah.
as I would imagine you would do.
Sure.
Call me a little queer and stuff, blowing pot smoke in my face.
Boy, you got me pegged, don't you?
Yeah. No, I know who. I see who you are, Mark. Cool. And then I get piss tested on Monday.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say we're out Saturday night doing a comedy show.
Okay, yes,
right? And I'm
yes,
around
yes,
you
yes,
and you're
yes.
smoking a joint.
Right.
And I go in Monday, and whatever. They typically only test in the case of an incident.
Yeah, that's what I was
But-
gonna ask you. Are they doing random testing or incident testing?
I don't think they're allowed to do random testing.
Yeah.
As it is, I'm not sure. You get tested when you start.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I've been there a little over 5 years. I've never been tested again.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
I've only
Yeah.
been tested the once. I haven't had an incident.
Yeah.
You drop a wrench or something.
In that 5 years, have you partaken in any at all?
No comment. I don't know who's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, exactly right.
But
Because I did. Once I passed the test, like once I got in there,
Sure.
I did.
Sure.
But I wasn't too fucking worried about it.
I mean, and there are. I'm sure there are a lot of people that have. Been operating in that way.
What do you think? What do you think is going to change it? Because here's the thing, man. It's going to be legal.
Yeah.
So, man, it's so fucking weird to tell people you can't do what you want at night and still work here during the fucking day. Because if you look at booze, right? And now I know with Irving parties, like stuff like functions and stuff, there's no booze.
Not
Right?
typically, no.
But nobody says to you, and there is an alcohol test when you first start there. Really, all it tests is, are you drunk right now for this test?
Exactly.
Right? Because they can't test it. I mean, alcohol leaves your system so quickly.
And that's the trouble,
Yeah.
right?
That's the trouble with THC. The testing needs to get better, right?
They would like to treat cannabis the same way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they have to, man.
I don't think they want to control what people are doing outside of work.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Right.
As long as it's legal.
That comes back to the safety, right?
But it comes back to safety. You can't
Yeah.
be stowed in there.
Here's
You
my
really can't.
problem with the whole fucking deal, Chris, is that if I were to sit down and drink 8 of these beer right here,
Yep.
I'm going to be intoxicated. So let's say I smoked my vaporizer 8 beers ago. But by the time I drink these 8 beer, that weed's going to be wore off.
Right.
I'm going to be essentially sober again without having to go to sleep. I mean, you have to stay up for a long fucking time to sober up from 8 beers. You
I've
pretty
never
much
experienced it.
You
I've
pretty
never been up.
No, you got to
enough
sleep, right?
To sober up while awake.
Yeah, like you have to sleep. Like I think the effects of THC wear off a lot quicker than alcohol. It's the stigma, right?
It's the stigma.
And it's the lack of accurate testing.
Well, there
right?
really isn't very much of a "Are you stoned right now?" test.
No, there's not.
And
There's
that's
no
a
test to say
problem.
how recently, like how much is in your system and how is that affecting you. I mean, I think, there's many more variables when it comes to how THC affects you compared to how alcohol affects you.
Right.
They have it narrowed down. If you have this percentage of alcohol in your bloodstream, you're going to be affected in this way. And it's almost across the board, right? I'm sure there are some exceptions, obviously.
I think they're pretty much on the, it's like, they say body weight affects it, but I think you've got to
Right.
be pretty far one way or the other to not kind of fit
Fall
into
in
the
there.
basic, yeah.
Yeah. And with THC, they don't have any fucking way, because if I smoke every day, all day long, I'm going to have a super high tolerance, where if you haven't smoked in 5 years since you worked at the refinery, for sure, it's going to affect you a lot fucking more.
Yeah, of course.
The testing has to get better. I don't know how that happens. I mean, if you look around at all our technology, and we don't have the technology to figure that out.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It
It's
is fucking
a weird
amazing.
one. And I think
hopefully
it's-
they're going to focus on it now,
Well, it's
by
going to be a problem
necessity.
for driving too,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And that's a little spooky because a lot of it's roadside testing,
Yeah.
and it's a judgment call.
Yeah.
And I mean,
How can you do that?
there's a lot of crossover with just other. I mean, there are going to be tired people.
Yeah. You can be
And-
paranoid people.
There's going to be paranoid people. There's
Yeah.
going to be people with poor attention.
Yeah. Anxious people.
That are going to get pulled
This
over that are in their normal state.
Yeah.
But could
may
fall under-
seem like they're high.
they could check a box, right?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't know. It's going to be a little sketchy for the first couple months, I think.
I love it that the country is rushing it into legalization, but we're not ready.
I don't think the infrastructure is there to support
it's
it.
not. It's not there. I still love it that they're doing it. But we're definitely not ready. There's going to be a lot of fucking speed bumps on this road to legalization for sure. I love it though, man. I think it's I think it's completely retarded that they would make a plant illegal.
It's a little bit strange, isn't it?
It's a little crazy, man. It's a little crazy, but they'll hand fucking oxys out, nonstop and ruin people's fucking lives and whatever. That's the same.
Doctor says it's okay.
Yeah, as long as the doc says it's okay. And I got a piece of paper in my wallet that says my doc says it's okay to smoke weed too. So
Well, that's a good place. to
yeah.
be.
Some doctors are cool.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a little bit of a. I think there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup. I think they've got a policy in place as a stopgap.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to change a little bit. Thing is, I don't think anybody would complain about somebody who shows up to work on time, does a good job, is an asset to the company, and then Friday night have a couple beers, puff a hoot, get a little off, and then come back into work Monday and do it again. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think you can argue that that's somebody who should see repercussions for that,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Like in
Man,
your
there's
off
got to be a
time-
point where once we leave work, we're people.
right?
And we have lives and we fucking do things, I don't know, man. I do believe that it's going to take at least a generation to wipe out the stigma of weed in this country.
It's likely.
They've done a good job of creating that stigma, for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll take at least a decade more to get rid of that stigma. Maybe it never goes away,
I don't know. I mean, I can't see with the way things are right now. That's assuming I reproduce, right?
Yeah.
I can't see my kid growing up in a world where pot's looked at as a
It's a bad thing.
thing based on what we know right now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it goes the other way too, right? Smoking gets more and more stigmatized
Oh, yeah.
every generation.
Yeah. Well, and
As it should. As
yeah,
it should. Of
man.
course.
It's
We know
much
more.
more fucking dangerous.
We know more than we used to.
And you only get high in the beginning.
Right.
That's the bitch about tobacco.
Is it-
Tobacco's
you-
a fucking
you
bitch.
You get a tolerance pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, because it ropes you in. It's almost like being engaged to someone who's giving you the best sex ever. But then once you're married, you have to stay with them. You have to stay with them now. You can't get out of it.
But the sex isn't.
But there's no more sex. That's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, fucking tobacco's a bitch, man. I quit smoking. Actually, I quit smoking when the refinery quit the smoking.
Yeah.
And I was actually the first person. These vaporizers right here, I got these banned at the refinery before real smoking was actually fucking banned. Because I got ahead of it, right?
Right.
I saw, okay, in 2 months, they're doing away with the smoking areas. They used to have, like muster
that's right.
stations.
Yep,
they had
that's right.
smoking stations.
Which seems bananas now.
in a refinery,
But,
it seems fucking crazy, dude.
I did a co-op term in 2011, 2012.
Right.
Kind of over that fall to that, whatever it was, 9 months or so.
Right.
Well, no, I guess it was a year. It was June to June.
Yes.
Or July to July, something like that. And they still had them then.
They still had the smoking
They
stations.
still had the smoking stations.
Yeah.
And you could just go out and hack a dart within the refinery walls.
And it was nowhere like, this is a special section
Not
away from
really.
everything.
It was like
right in the fucking middle of it.
It was close to, most of them were close to offices and stuff. They were away from like the operating unit, but it wasn't it wasn't outside the gates or anything like that.
Yeah. It was right there in the fucking refinery. But anyway, once I learned that, they gave us like 8 weeks. But as soon as I learned that, I thought, well, it's going to take me a while. There's no way I'm going to my vehicle out, like, going to fucking gate 8, getting in my vehicle, driving off the fucking premises. I mean, you know what? That would take your whole fucking break just to do that. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to smoke in there. So I got ahead of it, got one of these vaporizers. But the first day I had it in the refinery, I was smoking it all the time. Like right in the refinery.
There's no rule against it.
It's not, it's not fire, right?
Exactly.
And of course, people raised a big stink right away, and I got these banned before smoking was actually fucking banned.
There was a very brief time. There were probably 6 months or so where it was the wild, wild west as far as those things were concerned.
In the
People were
refinery?
in everywhere. People were
Everywhere,
smoking
yeah.
At bars or smoking at the mall. It was,
I still smoke. So I've been smoking this. So that happened in 2012.
Yeah.
And I've been smoking this fucking thing ever since because there's nicotine in it, and I'm still addicted to it.
To the nicotine.
But I smoke this fucking thing everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. I don't give a fuck.
It's so much less offensive.
It's steam, right?
Yeah.
But I'll smoke this in the movie theater. But I'll cup it so no one can see the light, and then I'll blow the steam down my shirt, right? Who gives a fucking
Get
shit?
a little whiff of
I might.
blueberries or whatever it is.
I may smoke my weed vaporizer in there too. You know?
I wouldn't do such a thing. I can't imagine, Mark.
Sometimes. Every now and again, I'll fucking do it. It's funny. I hear about places where weed has been legalized, other places. People's main concern, like their biggest complaint, is the smell of it in public.
Really?
Because people are smoking it all over the fucking place, right? Yeah. I don't think we're going to notice a difference in this city because I don't know what your experience is.
It's pretty much everywhere as it is.
It's everywhere now.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know? Yeah.
If anything, it'll drop because the new rule, I believe, is private property only supposed to be.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think at least at the beginning, people will be looking for it.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think it drops in popularity now that it's no longer, like, I mean, amongst the youth?
That's a really good question.
Do you think
Mark.
it'll
I don't
drop
know.
in popularity amongst the youth since it's not an illicit drug anymore?
Well, you know what? It's still, you still have to be 19 to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess technically for a 14-year-old, it's still illegal.
There's one thing teenagers love, it's something that they're not supposed to have, even if it's, whether it's cigarettes or it's booze or it's, pot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know. I guess it depends on what their motivation is, right? If people are enjoy it because it's a misbehavior,
Yeah.
then those people might not see the same.
It's interesting, right? It's interesting that it's happening countrywide.
It's a major social. That's unprecedented in a country this large.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely unprecedented. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think it's fortunate. You know what the great thing is? We only got 8 days, right? Hopefully nothing fucking, I don't want to jinx it.
Just keep cruising.
But once that happens, they can never fucking take it away from us again.
Oh, really?
Unless we get invaded.
Okay.
Now, if we get
didn't know
invaded,
that.
right? Well, I'm just saying I don't think they can.
I can't see someone going through the trouble of it.
I think there'd be too much pushback.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I don't think it's reversible unless we get invaded and some other foreign power says, no, you're under our
problems.
Oh, exactly. Nobody's gonna fucking worry about
Trying
that.
to learn Korean and shit. That's a bigger issue.
Is that what's gonna? Is it gonna be Korea? I think it's gonna.
Just
I
taking a
think
guess.
if we get taken over by anybody, it's gonna be America. It's gonna be the United States.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I could see it
especially
in
if we
terms
leave that fucking orange guy in charge for long enough.
I can't imagine them actually taking that step.
Yeah.
Because we're just a scooch less developed than they are. We're pretty
we're right
fucking
there.
handy.
Yeah.
And big military force and stuff. So I can't see them actually taking the step
We're not
to
a
do
big
it.
military force compared to them.
Well, no, that's true. No, that's true.
They laugh at us.
Yeah.
You have how many jets? You got 2 jets? Yeah.
Yeah. We got 2 jets per soldier. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fair and square.
So, and listen, if you don't want to touch on this subject, I get it. We can talk about something else.
Okay.
Not everybody wants to talk about this.
Okay.
Louis made his second setback.
Oh, let's do it.
At the Comedy Cellar. What's your feeling on the Louis deal?
Okay.
And again, like, it's a hot fucking topic, Chris. And
It is.
you know what I mean?
It
I
is.
don't want to put
But
people
I'm o-
on the
no,
spot,
no,
but
no,
I do
no.
enjoy.
I'm okay with that.
I do
'cause
enjoy hearing people's.
I've been thinking about it,
Oh, good.
and I think Louis is a tough case. 'Cause it's not cut and dry.
Hold on, let me stop you there. Because I want to know what you mean by that. Do you think it's a tough case? Do you think it's as tough of a case if he's not top 3 comic in the world?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
I don't know either. I was hoping you knew.
I don't know. I don't know if it's,
What did I bring you here for if you don't have the
I don't
answers?
fucking know.
I don't know either.
So I think that part of the claim, so the logic of the people whomst believe that he should not be on stage,
Yeah.
and he is in fact a quote unquote bad man.
Right.
Their logic is that he did a creepy thing.
It was
which I
certainly
agree
creepy.
with. It was certainly creepy.
Absolutely.
It's a very strange proclivity, but we're allowed to have strange proclivities.
Yeah.
And despite asking permission, his position in the comedy structure,
It's the power, right? That
it's
people
the
have problems.
power.
Yeah.
So that they felt like if they said no,
Did
their
he have
careers
that
would
power in
suffer.
2003?
Well, I don't know that. And that's what I'm saying though. If he's not the top,
he wasn't on my.
if he's not the
he
top
wasn't
3
on my
comic,
fucking radar back then.
Me neither. But if he's not the top 3 comic, does he still have that power or perceived power?
Yeah.
I would say probably
Yeah.
not. If
It's the same question as Kavanaugh, right? Like if Brett Kavanaugh is not going for the Supreme Court, does this Ford broad come out? You know? And if
it's
she's a
not-
Republican, does she? Right?
That I don't know either.
That's
So
a
that's
different
that's
fucking,
a question of
that's a
politics,
different
right?
fight all
That's-
fucking together. But anyway, let's
something
stay
else.
on Louis.
But I think I'll use myself. I don't care. If I was going to start asking local female comics, hey, do you want to stand in a hotel room while I make one by hand?
Right.
I don't have the
Make
power.
one by hand. I like that.
I don't
All
have the power to influence anybody's career.
Right.
Right. So if they say yes or they say no, does that change the percentage that agree? You know, does like those are all. I guess that's the big question: is does it matter if he's not the top 3 comic, and
Yeah.
and it's does he have the power? And also,
I think the answer is no. I think it is.
I think you're right.
But
I think,
I don't want to put that on those girls either.
well, no, and that's it too. And and then it's a matter of, well, did he imply that their careers would suffer,
Yeah.
or did they assume? And then is he responsible?
How is he responsible
they
for them
feel?
being successful? That's my question.
That's what I don't know.
Here's the thing. He should not have done it. You know, men.
I agree with that.
Men forget that we're way more powerful than women. Men forget that. And we have to be way better to women. We absolutely have to be across the fucking board. We have to be. Men are, like, I can smash my wife's face in whenever the fuck I want. And I have to keep that
That's
in.
a very uncomfortable truth.
No, it is.
It's a
right?
very uncomfortable
but
truth.
I have
and
to keep
it
that
sounds
in.
bad for you to say that. You're not saying you
I know,
have the
but
desire
it's
to.
truth,
but
right?
The truth of the matter is,
Yeah, and I have to conduct myself accordingly. I have to know that. And I have to, more importantly, I have to know that she knows that. You know,
on some level, she's aware of that.
she's
yeah.
definitely aware
She's
of
aware
that.
of that.
You know, she knows that if I go fucking crazy and start punching holes in the wall, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can, run a rampage through this fucking house, and I could kill her with my bare hands. And I think men have to keep that in fucking mind. Like, what Louis did doesn't seem bad, but if you look at it from a girl's point of view, this man could beat me to death. He could physically overpower me at any fucking point. It is a bad thing to do. Like, when people say he had this power and all this stuff, I don't think he had the quote unquote fame power back then that he has now. Certainly not what he has now, and I don't think he had very much at all back then. But he still had that power over any woman, right? He could dominate a woman really at any time. That's one thing we kind of forget about, and I think men have to get better at that. But
I mean, I genuinely hadn't thought of it in those terms until you said now, and you're right. Even taking away the famous stuff, he still has
power, like actual real physical
size and strength.
Yeah.
Which again is uncomfortable because violence against women is something that we try not to think about too much. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, yeah, you can't. It's hard to ignore, right? Men as a whole, genetically, are typically larger and stronger, unless you're dating.
I mean, there are exceptions, right?
There's always exceptions.
There's a few exceptions, but
we're talking about percentage points, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's always a power imbalance.
So having like that's the thing that bothers me a little bit about this story is that these girls weren't successful in comedy because of Louis. Bullshit. If you were fucking funny, you probably would have fucking made it.
There was probably another avenue.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Right? I mean, it's a big world. Louis doesn't run the fucking world.
No, that's right.
And he sure as fuck didn't run the world in 2003.
Right.
But here's my thing. When it comes to, he's a comic. He's one of the best to ever do it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't really matter. But it's how he's made his living his entire adult life. How do we take that away from him? I don't think we can. I don't think you can take that away from it. And the majority of people in this world, I would say, don't want to take that away from him. But that's the climate now, right? Like if you fuck up a little bit, they want to take everything away for the rest of your goddamn fucking life. Now, is it too soon? I don't know. Like, who's the fucking judge? Like, if the victims are not coming out and saying you have to go away for this amount of time, right? I mean, first of all, if they come out and they say you have to go away forever, we got to stop taking you serious right away. Like, if there's no road to redemption, I can't take you fucking serious. If you just say no, Louis done. He fucked up and he's done. He can never come back out. I can't take you fucking seriously because that's bullshit. But if the victims were to come forward and say, well, I would like to see him suffer for 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. But there is no way to, there's no road to recovery for Louis. No one's telling him, hey, you have to wait this long. If he had waited another year, Chris, they would have said it was too soon.
The thing is,
the people who are saying too soon now would have said too soon then.
We talk about the court of public opinion, right?
Right.
Which is a very real thing right now, especially with the internet. So
yeah.
people get...
Not for me. I'm not on social media.
I understand that. But again, percentage points,
but
right?
Yes.
There are women that can kick my head off too. So it's... But...
Yeah. I'm an Amazon woman. That's what I am when it comes to social media.
That's right. A rare beauty.
Right. I wish I was the size of an Amazon. Yeah.
But the problem is that the court of public opinion doesn't give out sentences.
Yeah.
Only decisions.
What do you think would be fair in this case?
That's... I don't know. I really don't. I think it sounds like... The thing about Louis' case is he didn't... Okay. I'm going to use another example. Chris Hardwick had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Not as famous, but certainly a man that's...
Not as famous, but I mean, fuck, he's on The Talking Dead.
Certainly a man that's making his way in entertainment, right?
Absolutely. Can you refresh me? I know I'd read about this. What is he being accused of?
So his is super gray.
He's a what?
His situation is super gray.
Super gray.
Super gray.
Okay.
He had an ex that came forward and claimed that he was basically just a piss poor boyfriend.
Okay.
With hints of abuse. Not physically, I guess, but
not
emotionally.
Sexual abuse, just emotional abuse.
I mean, sexual abuse to a point.
Okay.
I guess he would force himself on her.
Okay.
When she wasn't totally down with it.
Right.
Things like that. So things that 30 years ago would have been probably normal in a relationship, but we don't tolerate now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Wifely duties.
Those were her claims, right?
Yeah.
He was put on hiatus from everything.
So it's just one ex-girlfriend coming out and saying these things?
Yeah.
Okay. How long were they together? Do you know?
I believe a couple of years. Okay. Maybe 3 years.
All right.
Something like that. Yeah. Now, So I have a little bit of I have some feelings on this one in particular because I'm a fan of Chris. I listen to his podcast and stuff. And,
yeah, right. I always enjoyed him on The Talking Dead, and I don't hate his stand-up either.
His stand-up's not bad.
Yeah. After Midnight, it's a fucking great show.
After Midnight was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
She had a specific claim about an optopic pregnancy.
A what now?
It's called an optopic pregnancy.
Okay.
It's when the egg gets fertilized in the fallopian tube.
Okay, right.
They have to terminate it. It's not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to make it to term. Yeah.
So apparently, he said to the doctor, "Well, when can I have sex with her again?"
Okay.
After, very soon after it happened.
Right. legitimate question. We
Well,
all like to get laid.
I'm pretty
Kinda
sure
sensitive.
he had her on his podcast
Right.
that December for an end of the year show.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it was a joke at an attempt to lighten the situation.
Of course. That's what we do as comics, right?
But she framed it in her article.
Well,
as
when
a
can I fuck her
very-
again?
Right, as a
Yeah.
very serious question. And again, wasn't there? I wasn't there. I don't know.
Right,
but
right. Two sides
She
of
also
every
said that
story.
he ruined her career.
What was she? What kind of career?
Cosplayer, model. She just looked hot in her situations. You know, she
Right.
put on a Zelda T-shirt or
Yeah,
whatever.
she's a professional hot chick.
Here's the thing, though. She didn't have a massive career before him either.
Yeah.
So Anna Faris and Chris Pratt broke up, right?
Yeah.
Both very famous people.
Absolutely.
If she were to all of a sudden vanish
Yeah.
and stop being in things and wasn't on TV anymore and we weren't seeing her around,
Right.
and then she said, Chris had me blackballed from everything,
Yeah.
I would be... well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You vanished. And never. But this was a person who was famous
Never-
partially through him.
Yeah.
And...
Was obviously more famous being with him.
Right.
Yeah.
So
than
lost
she
some
was
points.
before.
Lost some points just trying to do it on her own, I think.
Right, right.
But he got all his shit back.
And it's fortunate timing for
Very
her
soon
and the Me
after.
Too stuff. Too. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
He got everything back. Got all
Right.
his shows back. His salary's back.
Yes.
He got it all back.
He got it
Right
all
away.
back.
He got it
Okay.
all back.
All right.
He
Well, and as well you
took a
should,
dip.
because honestly, that's a he said, she said, fucking shit. It's like the environment on the internet right now is so fucking crazy. Like the we have to believe victims.
Well,
Well, can we take it on a case by case basis? Because some of these quote unquote victims are actually monsters. They
yeah,
are
but
predators more than fucking victims. Now, listen, I'm
do
not
believe
saying in
that's
most.
I do believe that's a minority. A
Some-
very, very small minority.
It is a small
You can't
minority.
ignore it.
But it is happening, right? It is fucking happening. We can't ignore it completely.
Of course.
So I don't like these blanket statements. We're going to believe every victim. No, fuck that shit, man.
Blanket statements are seldom.
I hate it. You know, I hate it. Short tattooed guys are idiots. You know, I hate these blanket statements.
Yeah. Point being, though, he got right back to where he was.
Right.
With only a minor interruption.
Which makes sense because it really is
Sure.
just an accusation with no proof.
Louis is starting not from the bottom, but he's doing shows. He didn't come back after a year with a Netflix special.
Right.
He came back
First of all,
after
he
a
admitted to
year-
everything.
He admitted to everything.
Yeah.
He did.
And he doesn't get credit for that a lot.
No,
He
but
did admit to
it's
everything.
Something, I guess, he didn't. But it's not like he came back at the top.
Yeah.
He came back somewhere in the middle,
He lost the movie,
and he's working his way.
right?
He lost,
He lost the
movie,
show, lost the movie.
which was weird timing for that film to come out in the first place.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda.
Because it came out, the trailers broke like a few days after the Weinstein thing broke. Mm-hmm. Maybe even the same day they were up. Interesting content for him to take on, knowing that he was also being a sex pervert.
Right?
But anyhow.
Yeah, I don't think he thought of himself as
Probably
a sex
not.
pervert. I just
Probably
thought
not.
because honestly, his transgressions. I'm not going to call him a crime because he's never been convicted of any crime and no charges have ever been pressed. Now he is being taken to court, which is also something, and it's an uncomfortable topic, Chris. And I know it's no one's looking for the straight white male fucking
No, they never,
story
no,
on
of
this,
course.
and that's what we're doing
Right.
here, right? But listen, man, we have opinions too.
Sure.
Right? Just because we happen to be born fucking white and male doesn't mean that we don't also have, things to fucking say about it. But
That's a matter of perspective, though, right? Our
yeah,
perspective is.
But what
is
he
different.
did, it was not a crime, and it's very telling that no police are involved. But it is going to court for money. That should be discussed a little bit.
I wasn't aware of that, actually.
Yeah, civil suits, right? Settlements, all this fucking kind of thing. But the point is, his transgressions were really just kind of sad. Although it's it would still scare a girl to be in that situation. It's creepy.
Likely.
It's probably intimidating, but it's really more sad than sexually aggressive, isn't
They're
it?
not the actions of a confident man.
No, like anybody who holds power over a woman would do what Weinstein does and fuck them.
That's what you'd expect, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The whole thing is kind of messy. And here's something else I would like to bring up, because it was said after his first set that he came back at the Cellar, and it was said again that he's not addressing it. He's doing comedy.
But
What do you like?
Is it better if he
That's not
addresses it?
Is it?
Is it like, does he, like, if he comes up and does a 5, 7, 15, 35-minute set about, hey, did you guys hear about me jerking off in front of people and getting in trouble for it?
Yeah, if he's going to address it,
Is
he's
that
going to
better?
do it in fucking jokes, dude. If he's on stage
Right,
at
and
the
that's gonna
Cellar,
come off as more insensitive.
that's going to be
anyways.
worse,
Jeez.
right?
They're not going to want to hear that.
No, I don't know. That's a problem with Louis, this situation. It's not clear what the victims, or really the people who are backing the victims, and sometimes they get more upset than the victims themselves nowadays. It's not clear. The road to redemption is not fucking clear. And I think it should be, man. I think the onus is on this hashtag Me Too movement. They want the world to change today. It's not going to happen. But they need, I think the onus is on them to say, hey, this happened. It made me feel this way, or this happened to me. I think, he should suffer this, or fucking suffer that, or there's just there's no way back. They're not giving them a way back.
And I don't know how you organize to implement that.
Me neither.
How you get together a board of a jury of public opinion that gives out a sentence. That,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I don't know what
that looks like.
it looks like. And I mean, he took a year off. He tried,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it wasn't quite a year,
wait.
Chris.
Okay, fine. But the point is, he took time off. He
Yes.
didn't
He
get
took a
back.
very long time
He
off.
recognized, for a comic, he recognized that it wasn't the time for him to be on stage.
Yeah.
He recognized that people would need some time to.
And that's what he said, right? In his original statement when he came out, he said, I'm going to have to take some time to listen, right? He didn't specify how long. I guess it was 9 months,
apparently,
right? I guess it was 9 months.
Apparently not enough for.
Are you a big Louis fan?
I'm a moderate Louis fan. I like him. I think he's got some really smart stuff. His 2017 special wasn't what I'd hoped for.
Right.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Bill Burr's last special, he's my favorite comic. His last special wasn't what I wanted it to be either.
Really?
I thought it was very good. Walk Your Way Out. I fucking love that bit. And, people talk about bravery nowadays, right? I mean, you cut your dick off and tell people about it. You're brave, right? But that was very brave of Bill to do that. In America, in the United States, to have that set about obesity, that was real risky, man.
But it was. But at the same time, obese men in particular is a group that you can still line up.
Men,
for a
yes.
shot.
Men, yes.
Men, yes.
Yeah, women, no, not so much.
They're working their way into being untouchable.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
obese. Talking about an obese population.
It's not just untouchable, Chris. Celebrated, dude.
Sure.
We'll talk about that.
I mean, I celebrate them, but that's my personal decision to do so.
But yeah,
But I think you can line up an obese population for a hit, and that's still something people sort of don't take up too much offense with. Ultimately.
yeah.
Because, and this is my thing about it is that, there's a lot of leftover genetic code in us from a time that's no longer relevant. We are not physically, genetically up to where we have gotten ourselves. In terms of infrastructure, so a lot of us sit in offices now.
Right.
We are not genetically coded to sit in offices.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah.
We have food that we're not genetically set up to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We're living in
and
situations.
easily obtained food.
Right.
Yeah.
We are not genetically set up where there's a lot of leftover code from when we had to fight for food, fight each other. And an overweight person is not appealing to our eyeballs.
Right.
For the most part.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
And it's left over from that.
Sure.
And as much as we can,
Do you think that changes?
I don't know. I know people who, I think we're getting there. I know people who can sit in an office and eat what they like and maintain a healthy body weight.
Sure.
There are all kinds of ectomorphs out there that are doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they're probably, a quarter step further along than someone like myself who doesn't thrive in that condition.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's just. I don't think we're just sedentary at work. It's also at home too.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Of course, yeah. The
Because
majority
again,
of the time.
Yeah, because again, food is so easy to obtain now. Soft times make soft people, and we're seeing that now. I think it's kind of weird now, and I want to know what you think. Sports Illustrated has put out a swimsuit issue with whatever they call her. I'm going to call her a fat chick because that's really.
I think it's Ashley Graham.
Yeah, it's Ashley Graham. And she's a smoke show, no doubt about it. But
100%.
she is, a large girl.
She's a bit of a cheat, though, because she's also 6 feet tall, and she's
Yeah.
very clearly got a large bone structure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, people miss that too.
That's an Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
And her weight probably isn't too outside of what's healthy for her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're probably right. She doesn't look gross.
But she's still a size 10 or
She's
12
large.
or 14 or whatever it is.
So, but more recently, on the cover of Cosmo, and I can't remember the girl's name, they've had a very obese girl on the cover of Cosmo. And they're celebrating it and saying we should be happy about obesity. And I think this is dangerous, man. I think it's dangerous to children, more importantly. And you see it more and more now. There are more and more obese children. And that is what is bothering me.
We suck and
most
blow
about
at the same
epidemic
time
now.
as a society when it comes to this shit. We go, childhood obesity through the roof. This is terrible. We need to get kids active. We put things into schools that say you need to be active. Give them guidelines.
Right.
30 minutes a day. Whatever.
Yes.
Go run around. Whatever it is.
Right.
Got to maintain a healthy weight. It's about health. It's
Yes.
about health. Right.
Right.
But the aesthetic is no longer important. They don't push. They're saying it's okay to look this way.
Right.
We want you to feel comfortable if that's the way you look.
Yeah, no matter how you look.
Meanwhile, kids, you want to be a healthy weight
Yeah.
so that they're trying to keep kids from being overweight,
Right.
which is good.
Yeah.
But at the same
But
time,
then they're telling the
celebrating
adults-
overweight adults.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is, and
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to get to is, I think they're trying to focus on health as a whole.
Right.
But it's the fact is, what's healthy also happens to be aesthetically pleasing
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. It's what we're attracted to,
Right.
right?
Very often does someone have flawless, blood pressure and cholesterol, and they're at a weight that's healthy, and you go, that's not
Yeah, gross.
God, ugh, what's wrong with him? Like,
Does
never.
it change? Like, are we going to a place where it changes? Like, are we going to find fat people attractive in the future? Is that the story?
I mean, it's always
like,
a
have
matter
you
of
seen Wall-E?
taste.
Have you seen the movie Wall-E?
Yeah.
So they're all a bunch of obese people floating around, like morbidly obese people, floating around on these chairs, and all their entertainments, served right to them. Is that where we're heading?
I don't know. I hope not. I mean, at the same time, so you've been lifting for a long time, right?
Yeah.
How many people did you know went to the gym in the 80s?
Well,
Like if you had 10 acquaintances,
yeah,
from not, I suppose to throw a gym.
let's say
friends,
the
but-
'90s.
Okay, the 90s.
Yeah.
If you had 10 people from work,
Yeah.
how many of those people might have had gym memberships?
Very few.
Right. So now if I have 10 friends,
Yeah.
people from work, people from wherever, 9 of them
Yeah,
have gym memberships.
And
It's-
they're all out of
gym
shape.
culture has become a thing. Well, some are, some aren't, right?
Yeah.
Depends on how serious they are about it.
But not all of them are in great shape.
No, that's right.
Right.
That's right. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
I have one,
Right.
and I do my best. Look, I do my best. I've been fighting with this for a long time, right?
Sure. Does it fuck with you? Do you worry about it?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, but now it isn't vanity for me. It is.
But you're not an obese guy. You're just, you're a big guy.
Yeah, but
You got more weight on you than you should.
Yeah, but weight is
But you're
weight.
not an obese guy, right?
not. I'm balanced. Right?
Yeah.
You're familiar with the 3 body types, right?
Of course.
The ectomorph. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a textbook endomorph.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna struggle with this. I'm gonna
Your whole life.
I'm gonna be heavier than other people.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Now you
Even
could
if
work
I'm
your
fit,
fucking ass off.
Yep.
But you're still going to be a husky looking
right?
guy.
Even
right?
if I'm fit,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be heavier.
You're not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Probably not.
Yeah.
no.
It's
And-
genetics.
but you know
right?
what? It's and genetics play a role. I hate to lean on it because people do like to lean on
Oh,
genetics.
it
I
does,
don't
right?
like to.
There's that famous meme where the girl pulls open her fridge and it's full of fucking Pepsi and shit, and she says, "This is where I keep my jeans," right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
Which is a great meme,
But it's fantastic.
I do
But
like
it's
it.
a component, and you can't
Right.
ignore that it's a component.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's whatever, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah.
I still want to fight it, right?
Yeah.
High cholesterol runs in my dad's family.
Right.
You know, my grandfather didn't take it seriously, and I think he was 49 or 50 when I
Yeah.
lost him.
Yeah.
Dad took it
That's
seriously.
my struggle with it, and this is what I said to Brian Godsoe, it's gonna take time off the amount of time that you're here on Earth. Of
course.
Now you could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Big
Most
dent
of us
in the
don't.
big dent in the bus, but but if barring any accident or something like that, heavy people are gonna die sooner, of
course.
than people who are in shape, and that's my whole thing about it. Then again, I think we're overpopulated anyway, so I say eat up.
True enough.
It's
But dad did take it seriously, and
Right.
about almost 10 years ago now, he lost 80 pounds
no shit.
and has kept it off. I mean, a little bit of fluctuation,
Yeah,
but has kept it off for that time.
I gotta have Art Hovey.
Hovey.
I gotta have Art Hovey
I
on
bet
this
that'd be
fucking
a fun
podcast. Yeah,
he's a Weight Watchers leader now.
no shit.
He did the. That's why he wasn't so nervous about being in front of the crowd doing the stand up. It was just doing something different. Yeah, he and Joey. I showed him. Oh God, I found a video. It's a YouTube video, and it's because I was looking for. I wanted to show him Joey talking about Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny.
Weight Watchers, cocksucker.
Weight Watchers.
Right.
But instead, I found a Weight Watchers commercial with Joey talking about Weight Watchers dubbed over it.
Oh,
So it's these gorgeous white people like making salads
Sure, and it's
and
the
opening
Cuban-
avocados, right? And these, you don't know dick until you try Weight Watchers. You don't know dick. 2 eggs, chicken breast, umbats. Like he's just. You don't know
First of
dick
all,
about Weight Watchers.
That's a great impression,
Yeah,
first of all.
thank you. I worked on
I'll
it.
tell you, if Joey doesn't end up doing it, he's postponed the podcast for now. If he doesn't do it, I'm going to have to get you on here.
Oh, my
You
God,
do the
Mark.
impression,
That
we'll do a
would
full
be-
podcast.
that
We'll
would
just
be
put it out as Joe.
unbelievable. That'd be unbelievable.
That would be fucking hilarious. Yeah. What are you looking to do in comedy in the next year here?
I mean, I'm just, like I say, I'm trying to find that next gear.
Yeah.
And
Do you have it written, what you're doing next week? Is it done?
yeah, pretty
For
much.
the most part.
Well,
You're going to practice it and edit it.
there was a joke I was on the fence about earlier, but I'm gonna do it. It's about drugs at work.
Right.
But I think I am going to go ahead with it.
Oh,
I
nice.
feel okay with it. Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, geez, like, we just had a thing. Like, do I really want to
Yeah.
talk about it? But I think it's okay. I'm not,
Who gives a fuck?
touching on that note or anything. It's just about how we're dealing with drugs at work.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's written out. It's probably 10 or 12 minutes.
Are you nervous that it's a veer? That you're veering off of what you would normally do?
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm hoping.
When you come out with an opinion piece, like not an opinion
hoping
piece,
the
but something
audience-
charged like that, where you're taking a stand a little
Especially
bit.
that. So that I'm putting that bit at the end. The
Yeah,
one
right.
about the couple dynamic, the relationship dynamic.
Oh, that's not the whole bit. That's okay.
No, that's probably 5 minutes. Or
Yeah,
so.
right.
My stuff doesn't end up being super long.
Yeah.
Most of my bits fall between 2 and 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'm putting that toward the end. So if they don't come with me, I can just
Yeah.
cut off. But I'm hoping that they'll see what I'm doing and that it's not focused on
The opinion. It's
the acts of horror. It's the
yeah.
because, like I say, it's an opinion on the relationship, not on the-
dynamic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm of the same opinion as everyone else. They did a terrible thing. They're awful people.
Right, of course.
But
can you imagine what it would be like on a Sunday afternoon when they're having dinner, what that kind of
bring
thing,
that
right?
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
which is great, man.
I think it's fun. I think it's a fun little twist on it. But I am a little nervous. I mean, it could be seen as insensitive. It depends on how deep people can do it.
Listen, dude, are we fucking supposed to be insensitive? Like, isn't that the
little bit.
comics' fucking job? How does the world miss this all of a sudden where we're being held to this fucking standard? Like, we're the fucking idiots on the fringe of society that are making fun of everything in society.
I think it's getting lost. I think
And it's getting so lost.
the
you know,
premise of it is getting lost.
It's crazy, man. Like, oh, can you believe this comic said that? Yes, he's a fucking comic. I can believe he said that. She said that. Whatever. Like Roseanne Barr, bad joke, right?
Bad joke.
Bad joke. It wasn't funny. To me, as a comic, that was the only offensive thing about it. You know, and people get crazy, man. If you refer to anybody of any color or different race or whatever to any animal, doesn't matter what that animal is.
You're being a jerk. You're being offensive.
I did a bit when I was doing the list thing. I had a thing on immigrants, and I compared them. I didn't compare them to dogs, but I sort of drew the invisible comparison.
Okay.
And RF called me out on it.
Really?
And he was a little bit upset about it. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking comic. It was a fucking joke. You know, the whole premise of the joke, I'll tell you what it is, because I burned all that anyway. The premise of the joke was, you know, I'm so sick of people hating on immigrants. And, you know, you always hear them say, oh, he's been in this country for 2 years. He still can't speak English. And the joke is, my brother has a dog that's been in this country for 9 fucking years. Can't speak a word of English, right? That's the joke. It's just a stupid,
it's just a
fucking dumb joke, right? That always worked, by the way. I do like that.
I imagine
I do like that joke. But RF, like, he took a little bit of issue. He wasn't like super offended, but he mentioned it. You know, he's like, oh, I really liked your comparison of immigrants to dogs. And he was likely busting my balls.
Probably.
But
although I see his point, I guess.
Yeah.
But I also see
difference between that joke and Roseanne's joke is mine's funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I see what you were doing though.
Yeah.
And you are. It is just a simple. Guy doesn't get the issue joke. Like it's like, what's the problem?
Exactly. I don't understand.
You could
right?
also say it takes kids that are born here 2 years to learn English.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
If you really wanted to twist it into something.
Yeah.
that
that would have actually been a good fucking tag. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. What did you think of what Roseanne said and the fucking and the consequences? I mean, the consequences didn't really fit the crime, did they?
The thing is, it doesn't matter now. Networks are on thin ice as it is with streaming.
But how can here's what I'll put to you.
They don't want to take any risks.
Right, but they do. But they do sometimes, man. Look at Whoopi Goldberg on The View. Came out the other day on the show and was talking shit about Trump's 7-year-old fucking son, how he doesn't have a chance and he's probably going to grow up to be a sexual predator like his.
Should be
no repercussions.
Right.
No repercussions. You're talking about a fucking 7-year-old calling him a future, sexual predator, and that's fine because it's the left. Like, I don't get what, some things are okay, some things fucking aren't.
I agree.
That's why I stay off the internet.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if she deserves. She got. I mean, I'm thankful that the show's coming back in some capacity, and then a lot of people lose their jobs.
Yeah, I guess job-wise.
Just from that perspective, because that was something.
Are you gonna watch it though?
No, I didn't watch the original one either.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
But I think it'll be watched.
I grew up with that shit.
No, sorry. By original one, I meant the reboot.
Oh, okay.
I watched reruns of the original.
Right. Yeah, and what a great show, right?
It was a great show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
I don't think it works without Rosie.
It's gonna be really tough.
It's gonna be tough, man.
Can anybody stand?
I'm with you. I'm glad those people are keeping their jobs.
Sure,
I wish Rosie was too.
But that's a very small.
It's going to be a small run.
That's a small comfort.
It's going to be a short run.
I don't think it's going to last.
No, it's certainly not going to.
It's not going to last. And I don't know. It's really.
It's a weird world, isn't it?
She probably didn't deserve to lose the show. I would say that. I think that's extreme.
But by the same token, okay, so there were people offended by it.
Yeah.
Right? And call them snowflakes, whatever. So what's the answer? If she doesn't lose the show, what happens?
I don't know.
It's a weird world, right? Like what punishment would fit that crime? Because it's a shitty thing that she said.
Sure.
And it did hurt some people's feelings. Maybe it made some black people maybe they didn't like it, made them feel bad about themselves,
Well, that's the thing and that's the problem. Like you say, the white guy opinion, we can't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had somebody compare.
But we almost can, right?
To an animal like that and felt.
That's true.
The problem is the history behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That it was an ape specifically.
Right.
Is a big chunk of the issue.
But what about the intention of it though? That it is a joke.
Well, that's always the argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
The intention versus the result. And
we run to that, right? That's our shelter as comics, right? It's all intention. We can say whatever the fuck we want if it's intended to be a joke. We use that as a crutch. But we do. And we do have to be a little more conscious of that. I don't know, man. I just wish comedy was the way it used to be, where it's we can say whatever the fuck we want there because we are the comics.
The thing too, though, that's tricky is, and this is playing to you. You're gonna love this. is that it's social media.
Yeah.
And that there's nothing between her and the millions of people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And she had the thought, and she fired it out, and everybody heard it.
You know what? You know how I feel about the whole fucking deal, Chris? It really is just another reason to stay off of social media. Right?
Because otherwise, if she wanted to make that joke in the 90s, she would have written that joke.
Yeah, exactly,
She would
right?
have taken it to a club.
Or fed it into her show, right? Like, she had all these platforms now.
Right.
It's interesting. Do you think she can do stand-up now?
I don't know. If Louis can't, I mean, I really don't know.
Obviously, I think it's safe to say what Louis did is worse than what Rosie did.
Sure.
Right? Maybe?
I mean, I don't know. She can probably go through Middle America without too much issue, really.
Yeah.
She can probably do stand-up.
I think we eliminate social media. We eliminate all this. What do you think, Chris?
I think staying off it's smart. I can't have a hard time dropping Facebook because I'm using it to promote shows.
I know what.
So yeah, I hate using Facebook as a crutch to promote shows.
Yeah, but you're right.
The sad thing is it is how a lot of people find out about them. I post very little personally on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's become just a stand-up stream.
Yeah. That's okay though.
I also find I don't check it anymore.
You're not creeping it, checking it.
No, because I don't.
Good.
I like Instagram.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because it's just a stream
It's
of
easy
photos
to
of my
exactly.
choosing.
It's easy to it's way easier to creep. You don't have to fucking read nothing,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah. What do her tits look like?
I
What are these
also
guys
feel
doing?
less obligated to have people I know on there.
Right.
It seems like I have to have not that, but like you gotta have all the aunts and everything on Facebook, right, to keep everybody happy, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Instagram's a little bit more of a curated experience for me, anyways.
Yeah.
So I scroll through and it's cars and
Do you fuck with Twitter?
mopeds and chubby girls. No, not at all.
No. Good.
Toxic
It's not-
place.
yeah, it's
the
toxic
worst
place.
shit happens on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's not even really big in this area anyway, so it doesn't really pay to be on here.
No, that's right.
You mentioned cars and shit. You're like really into cars.
Yeah,
And stuff,
yeah,
mopeds and cars.
Well, the moped. So the moped started as a way to get on two wheels without having to get a bike license.
Sure.
I wanted to see if I liked it or not.
Yeah, yeah.
And mine's I don't. It's funnier to just call it a moped, but it's a 50cc motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
You ever drive the old Honda 3-wheelers?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
man.
so
well, I
they-
had a Honda 50 dirt bike when I was growing
So
up.
they
Right?
had the
I know
little-
what a 50
They had
is.
the little 4-speed down transmission.
Yes.
It's got that.
Okay, all right.
So it's not just like a pedal. There's no pedals on it. You just jump on it and
Yeah.
shift it into gear. Just like 65 clicks.
Yeah.
But it's easier and funnier to just refer to it as a moped.
Oh,
'Cause
for sure it is.
Its license is 1 and it's under 49.
Yeah, yeah. But you're a car guy?
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay? All right.
I traded another bike that I built. It was an honest moped. I traded that for a Kawasaki LTD 440.
Oh, nice.
So there's a proper bike that needs clutches that I just did not get to this summer.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
I bought the house and stuff. I just never got
Right.
around to putting the time and money into it.
What about a four-wheeler? Do you you interested?
I don't right now. I never did as a kid.
Yeah.
Grew up in the suburbs more or less,
Right, yeah.
and we just didn't. I don't know. We just didn't really have those things.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Get into something.
So
But
fun.
we'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. the
I'm midway
four-wheeler's so fun.
through putting an engine in my truck that never belonged. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, the Ranger and the Ford Explorer shared a frame,
Oh, is
for a
that
long time.
Okay, right.
and the Explorer got the 5-liter V8, and the Ranger never did.
Right.
So it'll bolt up and plug into the computer and all that. It's still a ton of work,
Right.
but in terms of putting something where it didn't belong, it's relatively straightforward.
No shit.
So got the Explorer, got the motor out, just
See, I am
put back together, and
fucking dumb when it comes to fucking cars, man. Like super fucking dumb.
not with it, eh?
Yeah. I just, my old man didn't give a fuck about it. It's not like I grew up in that environment.
And
right?
and that's what it is, right? I grew up in that environment. And
Yeah.
that's why it was something that stuck.
And so do you do all your own mechanic work and all that fucking bullshit?
Jesus.
Oh, you don't do
I do to a point.
Yeah.
But only as it's convenient for me.
Right.
I don't want to change the oil in February.
Yeah. Me fucking neither.
$50 or $60 to have Mr. Lube do it.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing, and that's fine by
You're
me.
in and out is 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way you go.
Now the Ranger I drove up in. That's kind of a hobbyist thing. So
Sweet.
if I want to change the oil, I will. If I want to do
Yeah.
bits of work, I will.
First of all, that's a gold Ranger.
It is a gold
which
Ranger.
is very fucking rare. You and I both drive rare trucks.
That's right.
For this
The Raider.
area.
That's right.
Yeah. The Gold Ranger. I love it. No back seat though.
No backseat. No. Regular
Yeah.
cab. Bought it in high school.
But also full bed.
Full bed.
Yeah. I've owned 3 Rangers.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they've all had the back seat, extended cab, and short box. And that's exactly what the Raider has too.
it is, yeah.
But the Raider actually has a full, proper back seat.
Yeah, that's
Which
right.
is very rare.
In a truck that size.
In a truck, in a quarter ton, right? Fucking love that truck.
Bought it in high school, right? Had the bench seat. Girls slide over. Yeah.
You've had that since high school?
That was my first car. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that.
I painted it once when I did co-op with the refinery. I had money laying around. I had it painted. And then just after I started my current job, someone rear-ended me with a camper van that I suspect they were living in.
Oh, shit.
And I had
Down by the river?
No, it was no, just across the causeway.
Right.
And I had to make the tough decision between scrapping it and rebuilding it.
Right.
And they took her to the guy down the street and got her rebuilt.
Nice.
So. Yeah, it's
So,
just become...
did you restore it to its original gold, or is that a color you added?
No, it's the same color.
Yeah, okay. So you restored. You
It's
had
just
already
been-
you had painted it before.
Same color though.
Oh, you
Yeah,
just
doing a-
repainted it gold.
Yeah,
Okay.
doing a
I
color
thought you
change
would...
is a lot of money, right? You got to take the whole interior out and spray inside, and then put everything back in. And
Yeah,
it's a big
right.
deal to change the color.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just repainted it the gold. I like the gold.
Have you? I love the gold, man.
It's a good color.
Like I said, you probably have one of the only in this province gold Rangers.
It's getting old enough now. It's 99.
Yeah.
It's just old enough that people start to ask about it.
Yeah.
So a few more years, it'll be proper.
It'll be a conversation
Yeah,
piece because I'll tell you. At least 3 times a week. I mean, I do a lot of driving for my job
sure.
anywhere. I'm in a lot of places, but at least 3 times a week, I'm stopped for conversations about that fucking Raider.
Well, like I said,
Right.
I think it's one of 2 or 3 I've actually seen in person.
Yeah,
Like
I think
they're-
well, first of all, it's definitely the only one in this city. It might be the only one in the province. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, they're not common at all.
it's pretty rare. Yeah. Well, we got to put this to bed, Chris.
Let's do it.
Thanks a million for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is great.
We'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good chat.
Bitch, I got that Kyrie Irving step. If you don't think that I'm the shit, it's just cause you ain't heard me yet. I'm about to put my mask on. Stick all these industry niggas up until they cash gone. I know you hot for the moment, but that shit don't last long. I know you wasn't expecting this shit, but you asked for it. Now I got my mask off, running the back door. Blast y'all, hats off, what is you mad for? I catch y'all, smash y'all, don't mean to laugh hard. But are you funny to me? None of you niggas half hard. You think you're coming for me, but you never could last long. You don't mean nothing to me, and I come with some shit that make it Yeah, whoa, mask off, running the back door. Blast y'all, hats off, what is you mad for? I catch y'all, smash y'all, don't mean to laugh hard. But are you funny to me? None of you niggas half hard. You think you're coming for me, but you never could last long. You don't mean nothing to me, and I come with some shit that I make you niggas bumping to me with a couple of weapons. I'll be afraid to get a poppin' at it, I get a dippin'. I mean, what's up with you mumble niggas who never say nothing about to make all of you fuckers go to bed in the oven. I go to sleep with the devil, I wake up next to your mother, and you ain't telling me nothing. I mean, I'm very disgusted. I mean, I'm ready to bust it and put an end to you fucking at what's what. How many CDs can a wood truck? If you chucked it at every single nigga that sucked.